but he turns to all his Death Eaters and he goes, Harry Potter is dead! And it's the funniest, and then he gets into this weird child molestery hug with Draco as well. It's fucking good.
Doesn't he have to kill Draco or something? Draco dies, right? Maybe? You don't have to tell me that.
Yeah, I mean, it's... Yeah, he doesn't. Not.
Oh, okay.
Die-ish, not-ish, does. You have to be careful, because I might put this at the beginning of Podtoid, and people get fucking mental over spoilers. Oh my god, you spoiled a book that's been out for 10,000 years, literally. Fucking cunts, get over it. Fight! Well, I've got the thing recording, so we can just start.
Cool.
Yeah.
Alright then.
Fuck it. I'll do that then. Oh yeah, I'm the host. I'll start. Don't worry, I've got it under control. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. Hello. At Podtoid 160, if you can believe such a thing, that we've made it this long. Not us. Like, as a collective, we haven't done 100. Fuck no. We've done about 4. I don't know.
I think we're up to 10. I think this is the 10th one of them.
I think it is. It's actually it might be our 11th or 12th. Jesus, that's too many. That's incredible. Too much. Yeah,
we're prolific, really. That's 10. That's 10 weeks. That's like.
It feels like long.
It's like 3 months.
George Lucas hasn't made that many Star Wars films, so chop chop, George, get working, you lazy fat cunt.
Those Ewoks movies.
Oh yeah, Caravan of Courage and the something of Endor, Battle of Endor. Yeah, those are good.
Whoa, fuck the Ewoks.
Is that New Frampton? Frampton Comes Alive?
Yeah, that is Peter Frampton. That rare alternate lyrics to Peter Frampton's song, Ewoks.
Hey guys, I made up a joke.
Let's hear your joke.
I'd love to hear it.
Okay, hold on. Guess what came in the mail?
Your mom.
Jesus.
Perverted postal workers.
Oh.
Your mom was good too.
Fuck you, Tara. God damn it. That's what she said. Your mom. Tara Long. Mathematics.
That's me.
Anyway, listeners, you've put us off from even introducing anyone, you idiots. Stop putting us off by making us think about Max Scoville's terrible rubbish jokes that no one likes. I'm in a mood today. If you haven't noticed, I'm in a mood to just be aggressive and have a go at everyone. I think it's because my hormones are out of whack, which is why I sound like a girl. Hello! Let's introduce you to Tara Long.
Hello.
Max Scoville.
Hello, everyone.
And Jonathan Holmes, what are you doing to me? You dirty little girl. Jonathan Holmes, don't you know what you're doing to me? I want to know.
It's really weird when you're singing to someone about what they're doing to you, and you don't know what it is.
I know.
What are you doing? Yeah, but people do that. You're not the first.
It's good.
I enjoy it.
You inspire me to sing.
Yeah, that's not the first time you sang about what I'm doing to you, I don't think. So thanks.
You're in my mind, melting my soul.
Wait, what is he doing to you?
It's come out of my mouth as a fine leathery paste. Can paste be leathery? I do not know, Holmes. You've scrambled my mind.
Because I'm not that special. I don't think I do anything to people, really.
Shut up.
So that's why it makes me laugh. I'm not. I just feel like, it's that guy. I'm around.
You know what I'm doing right now? I'm fucking making you something out of Sculpey polymer clay to send to you.
No way, really?
I'm dead serious. I'm playing with Sculpey right now. That I want to make you something. I want to make you like a Pokemon or something.
Wow.
And that's what you do to me. You make me get out my arts and crafts bin and get out my Sculpey.
Oh, don't let me forget. I received a package from Max Scoville that I want to go through on the show.
Okay.
I want to root through that and tell everyone, because that would take up 10 minutes. just to let everyone know the things that Max Scoville thought I'd like to have. But before we do that, that's something to look forward to, listeners. So please don't turn it off yet. Actually, you've downloaded it, but now you can do what you fucking like. So long as I've got the numbers, that's all that matters. You show up the same whether you listen for 2 hours or 2 minutes. But it's the administration section where we get out all of our important pimpy bits before you turn off and realise this is fucking shit. So, I want to talk about Pinball FX. Destructoid is in it. Mr. Destructoid's helmet is on the Misplosion Man table on Pinball FX, which is available as downloadable content or something like that. There's a big build-up for that on the front page of Destructoid, so that's a letdown for everyone.
I wasn't sure if you were going to say that. Yeah,
what did you say, Tara? It is cool news, but it's not Marble Madness coming back, as some people thought.
Which would have been exciting, I guess?
Oh, yeah. It would have been cool, I guess. I don't know. I don't like... If it's not Screwball Scramble, I don't give a shit.
I like Marble Madness, but I'm not aching for a sequel. We've got the Koro Rinpa games anyway. Right, guys? Koro Rinpa? You like that a lot, right?
I've been planning to buy that, along with Goblins Unleash the Horde, for about 100 years, a billion. I will never get it. I will never buy it. I'll keep telling myself I will. It's like, what, a shilling now? And I still won't get it.
It's like $5. Yeah, they're pretty fun games. Marble Mania. Not Madness, mind you. Mania.
No, Mania.
Marble Mania, yeah.
Marble Misery.
Oh! He started so sassy about it, too. So yeah, we're in that pinball game.
We're in that pinball game.
It's got leaderboards.
It's got leaderboards. It's got...
Do we actually do anything, or are we just like a prop in the background?
I think it's like it's on the table. I don't know whether you put the ball through like its mouth or whatever, but it's part of the table. You know how pinball tables have all these like decorations of bits and whatnot in them.
It's an obstacle.
Yeah, it's set in there as a thing. So that's something. That's cool. You know, it's You can get that if you want.
It makes me want to make a real Destructoid pinball game. I know a lady, Sarah St. John. She runs this place called Pinball Wizard. It's this gigantic arcade here in the northeastern United States. She'd be down with it. I'll talk to her about it. She's got all those games. You know the one with the Chucky head? It's called Funhouse.
All right.
You remember that one? The pinball game?
No. I was, to be honest, mate, I was half listening because I was trying to think of something funny to say later. So I just thought, just acknowledge what he said in a kind of quasi-knowledgeable way to make it sound like he might know what's going on. But I'm not strictly lying because I didn't acknowledge that I know what you're talking about. That's how I get through life since I was 10.
Waiting for my turn to talk.
Pretty much. I've become adept at looking like I'm listening or sounding like I'm listening to someone when I'm just thinking about, like, eggs and emus and toucans and things just, like, flying around in my head.
Sounds great.
That was a very avian list of thoughts. I don't think Podtoid, I don't think this podcast's been avian enough. That's my big problem. That's something I want to fix, like, more bird things.
That's important. Yeah, I'll back you on that.
Discussions about birds?
Just an overall birdie feel. Like, I don't think we don't even need to talk about birds. Just so long as people come away from Podtoid and think, that's a great podcast, and I'm in the mood for birds.
I have a good maybe, I don't know, maybe like a good 20 minutes of video that I recorded when I was in Connecticut, when I was at the bird sanctuary, because I really like making fun of animals. So I was like standing by the different bird cages and just doing impressions of them and making up fake names. And I was like, behold, the Madron Falconer. And it was actually like a peregrine falcon. And like immediately after I said that, it just got up and flew into the side of the cage. And just like calling owls like racial slurs and stuff, you know? And like,
oh yeah, of course.
Look at you.
What was the name of some of those owls?
Oh, it's a barn pervert. I don't know. Just owls. Like, what are you gonna?
No. What were some of these racial ones? I'm sure we'd all like to hear.
Full racist. I weren't like that racist. You know, it's like stuff it would be offensive. You know, like. Fucking,
like a
say something racist, Mark. That's what I want you to do.
I'm saying, I know you want me to say something racist.
Say something fucking racist.
Everyone says you're racist. I'm not going down that path, my friend.
Come on.
Well, you can be
racist.
You guys know
you can split the winnings.
Fuck it. I'll be honest. I hate owls. I really, really fucking hate owls. Like,
really?
Yeah.
Or
Yeah,
like the decorations and shit, because owls are all.
Yeah, I know, and they're fucking everywhere, and it's like these fucking stupid-ass, like, hipster chicks in San Francisco are just like, oh, owls are so trendy, and I'm like, fucking owls are ugly as shit. They're like fucking cat birds, and like...
So wait a minute. So you're telling me owls are hot on the streets right now in San Francisco? Everyone's like talking about owls and trying to like...
It's like a hipster thing, like...
No, it isn't.
I want you guys to think of one thing. How many girls have bird tattoos? Like whether it's like the silhouette of a swallow. I want you to just ask your friends, ask around, especially people my age, if you know them. Fucking Tara, answer me this. How many chicks have bird tattoos?
I almost got one, no kidding.
Exactly. Fucking exactly.
You're right, they should be walking around with fucking vultures and newborn chickens. Like, ones that have been cracked out of the egg and haven't even grown any feathers yet and are just have big bug eyes and just look like weird little fetus. Like, basically like a nutsack with a beak. That's what women should have on their tramp stamps in the middle of, like, tribal symbols and thorns.
Damn, yes.
This half-born bird. That's what I want to look at when I'm fucking something up the arse.
I actually have a sketchbook somewhere in storage that all I drew in there, maybe not the whole thing, but like a good, maybe 10 pages, is just various bits of fan art reflecting how much I hate owls. So, like, it's just like me, like, giving an owl the finger and being like... And I showed it to my art teacher, and she was just like, I'm just not seeing it. And I'm like, I actually hate owls. This isn't me trying to be funny. I really don't like it. It actually all started because I was staying at my dad's house. This is such a weird story. I was staying at my dad's house in Topanga, which is like, it's kind of in the canyons, and there's like mountain lions and shit. And one night I couldn't sleep, and I'm just kind of lying there, and I hear this noise, and it's like, and it keeps going, and I like had headphones on, and I took them off, and I was like, what is that noise? And I kind of waited for a second, and it started again, and I was like, is that my dad having sex with my stepmom? Like, I was really disgusted for a minute, and I kept listening because I heard it, which is weird, and I realized there's a fucking owl, and I'm like, owls are fuckers, like. I really don't like them.
Was it fucking your stepmom or not?
No, it was just an owl, like a regular ass owl, just fucking being an owl. Who? Why the fuck do people think owls are so fucking wise if all they do is ask fucking who? They just ask these goddamn questions. They don't know anything. They're just asking questions.
Well, no, because they are. The other trait of owls is that they are haughty. That goes along with their wisdom, and so they are above knowing who you are, and that's what they're like, who are you? I am an owl, the wisest of all the modest animals.
The one really cool owl is the owl in The Secret of Nim, who's just like a fucking monster. And he's going to be like, oh, Mrs. Frisbee, I will not eat you today, for your child Timothy has pneumonia.
Fuck The Secret of Nim. I want to say that now.
What?
Right?
What?
I read it. I had to read it for English at school, right?
Yeah.
And my question is, what else are they going to do medical experiments on? Babies. You'd rather babies than a bunch of stupid mice that can't even talk in real life.
Those rats were incredible, though. You must seek Nicodemus.
You see, I don't even know the difference between a mouse and a rat. One's just big and more annoying than the other. Just fucking inject collagen into the eyes of the pair of them and have done with it.
That was definitely some PETA, propaganda.
Oh, it always is. Fucking Captain Planet. Oh, there's no such thing as a supervillain that would waste that much money just trying to make the sea a bit muddy.
I was actually thinking about the Planeteers yesterday. I was walking along and my shoes keep getting untied, and I'm just like, I am like Kevin Wheeler. My shoes are always coming untied, and I like to set things on fire, and I have the habit of sexually harassing Russian girls. Boom! Kevin Wheeler.
You are definitely Kevin Wheeler, the best character in a cartoon.
Ever?
Hey, Linka! Hey, Linka! The Berlin Wall came down. Want to fuck?
Is that what he says?
Fire!
I haven't seen that in a while. They're making a new one. Captain Planet. It's coming back.
I find that
Revamping
fucking brilliant. I think usually I'm offended and upset when I hear about Hollywood remaking stuff. At this point, I've gotten over it because Hollywood have just confirmed there's no more ideas left ever, and they're just rehashing their old shit. I don't think they could have picked something more amazing to do.
That's true.
That is fantastic. Because let's face it, the cartoon was shit. I watched it all the time, but it was shit. I mean, what? Oh, I'm an advanced computer AI, and I exist only to put oil on birds.
Dr. Blight won't love me.
Convoluted.
I really hope that.
Wasn't it always a treat when Captain's Blight hair flew up and you saw the funny eye? Oh.
Yeah. I liked how Jeff Goldblum did the voice of the fucking rat.
He looks like a fucking rat.
Yeah.
My
wife.
wife.
Hello everyone. I'm a rat who's trying to spread pestilence.
Was that really him, or I thought that was just a sound?
That was Jeff Goldblum's voice.
No, that's Jeff Goldblum, and Oprah Winfrey was Gaia.
I thought it was Whoopi Goldberg.
Way.
Whoopi Goldberg.
Oh my God, Jim Sterling mixing up the black people again.
Did I say someone else?
Did you say Oprah Winfrey?
That would have been better.
Did you say Oprah Winfrey, or am I just totally...
He did say Oprah Winfrey.
Did I say, oh, well, that's me, a massive racist. Oh, dear. What a shame.
So we just pimped out the
what's going
projects
on?
we're working.
Yeah, speaking of animal abuse, I've always... Now, this is bad, right? But I've always wanted to slap a horse in the face. Can you imagine anything funnier? Just because they've got these really long, fucking idiot, gormless horse faces. You just say, come here, right, horse, right? Come over here, right? Come. It would be amazing. My brother once saw his friend get a sheep in a headlock and punch it. And the thing is,
oh my God.
And this is where a very, and I want to, because sometimes Podtoid likes to talk about moral dilemmas and conflicting social issues. At what point is it not okay to laugh at animal abuse? Because the idea of getting a sheep in a headlock and punching it is barbaric, but the image. The mental image of having a sheep in a... Whoever did it was a nasty bastard, and I hope someone invents hell in a facility somewhere just to put him in it, but just for the image of a sheep, a stupid sheep in a headlock getting... My brother also wanted to always, spray... Actually, no, I think I came up with this. Sorry, blaming it all on my brother. I came up with this idea of... and again, I've never done it. I never will. But it would be funny to get some, spray-on deodorant, spray a cat from the head down to its tail and just toss a match on it. And just watch it run down the street. Or let it loose in a Walmart or something.
This is awful.
That's horrible.
Hey, look,
I like
I'm not
cats.
saying it's... I've got a cat. I love cats. They're lovely. But,
they're
it
cute.
would be funny. That's what I'm trying to... That's the message I'm trying to... That's the message I've always been trying to get across
I have a story
in my career.
about making animals look bad. If you wanna,
okay.
So I told you about my weird friends in Connecticut who do stuff that's strange. One of my buddies, there are deer everywhere in Connecticut, and they're a pest. I mean, they're like flies, except they're deer, so they'll wreck your car, and you have to be careful driving. But you'll just see them on the side of the road, and if you kind of come around a curve and you'll see a deer, and it looks at you, and it's sort of this awkward moment. My friend got in the habit of he'd slow down and roll down his window, and then he'd just start hitting on deer. And they just stand there staring at him like real. And it's like, this is one of those things. He did it to entertain himself. He's just not going to try and have sex with deer. But he would pull over to the side of the road, and he'd just be like, "Oh, well, hello there. I noticed your little white tail is perking up. You getting heat? Are you?" And then he took this a step further, and this is where it gets fucked up. He went to Kmart, and he got an airsoft gun, like a little, like battery powered, plastic pellet airsoft gun. It's not really harmful, but he'd drive along and he'd see these deer on the side of the road, and he'd be like, "Oh, hey, how's it going? How's it going there? You're looking really cute." And then he'd pull the airsoft gun out of his center console and just shoot the deer. And it would just hit it, and the deer would kind of get startled and run away. Sometimes they just stand there still, like, "What just shot me?" So my friend would do drive-bys while sexually harassing deer. That's my story.
This is one of the weirdest Podtoids we've done.
Actually, I was thinking it's one of the most sensible. Like, it's horrible and nasty, but at least you can follow the story this time.
I don't even know how I can interject myself into these conversations. They're so bizarre.
I think we have gotten a little off topic.
What's this about? What are we supposed to talk about?
We were pimping out our projects.
What are we talking about?
Projects. Your project was fucking punching a sheep.
Yeah.
Like,
before we crack on, let me just say the word video games. That's got us covered. Right, back to deer fucking. Okay, let's get back on track. I want to talk about Destructoid Live. I love how the admin stuff is to do it first, to get it out of the way. It's half an hour later now. Destructoid Live is going to be at PAX. It's a thing with some people on it, which is good. That's our panel. Unicorn Theatre, 12 noon on the Sunday, so it's not going up against the keynote this fucking year, which is nice. I'm going to be on it.
I'm going to be on it.
Max is going to be on it, so that's going to be a mess because of us. But we've got Nick Chester as well, editor-in-chief. We've got the other one. Hunter Aziz is another one of us. He's a community... No, the fucking hell, that jumped up prick. What is he now? Director of Communications. But he's given himself.
Can we call him Hamilton?
Yes.
Hamilton. Hamilton!
So Ponsonby Hamilton is going to be on. That's exciting. We got some good competition. I'm sorry, I had to remove some and good. We've got competition and thing. So that's something to look forward to.
What's the competition? What?
We got competition. Well, last year we had people eating sandwiches. They made the Sinner sandwich from Deadly Premonition. This year we've got something else tied up that hasn't been announced yet, but will be announced hopefully soon. Looking forward to that. So that's cool. Was there anything else? Oh, Ant update. Loads of them. Fucking ridiculous.
And buy the Podtoid app.
Buy the Podtoid app. Jeez, why? Get it on Android, Podtoid. Just do a search for Podtoid on an Android thing. I don't know how it works. Buy that. Please, spend money, and you will get exactly the same content as you'd get if you got it for free for nothing. But it would help us if you like us, so that's good. It's just a little bit of support. It's like a pay what you want thing, like what 9 Inch Nails does. Which is nice, because I sometimes think that we are the 9 Inch Nails of video games. So, do that. But yeah, back to these ants. There's about, 28 of them. I wasn't counting, but there was about 28 wings some of them have now.
Oh,
and
yeah.
Again, they've all gone. They've just gone. They were there yesterday. They were on one of my speakers for no reason. I gave it a wipe down just in case some sugar deposits had left my jowls. And they've gone. But I know they're like waiting somewhere in the walls or something until more sugar comes. And I'm drinking fierce grape Gatorade, so that might attract them.
How would the sugar get from your jowls to the speakers? And
try to eat the speakers.
Okay,
I like to see how many
Jonathan
speakers I can fit in my mouth.
Have you seen Star Wars Episode 1?
The Phantom Menace?
Yes. Are you familiar with the head of Otogunga, Boss Nass, voiced by Brian Blessed?
I'm a big fan.
You should needed a bongo.
I'm Brian Blessed, and I want more turkey. That's Brian Blessed. I love Brian Blessed. He did an interview once talking about Judi Dench, and he was like, "I've never met a man that didn't want to fuck her." He swears like a sailor. He's like, I'm fucking Brian Blessed. I was in fucking Star Wars.
I know him from
lesser
other
TV shows that nobody knows.
Yeah, what else was he in?
He's actually he's a well-respected British actor. Done a lot of stage.
I'm going to find out.
TV stuff. He was in the first series of Blackadder.
Okay, maybe that's where I know him from.
He was in.
That's what I feel like I know.
As
he was Hawkman, right?
Yeah, the leader of the fly birdie men.
Yeah. Okay, I love that guy now.
Yeah,
I remember him.
He's
done some really good things. He played Johann Sebastian Bach in The Joy of Bach.
And I bet he went, I'm Johann Sebastian Bach!
Jim, can I back it up a second? What did he actually say about Judi Dench? Did he say he wanted to fuck her?
He said he
never met a man who didn't
want to fuck her.
I had the luck of meeting this one girl at a party, and I think I consequently made out with her, and she looked like a really young, like, Judi Dench, and she had a tattoo of sandpiper footprints on her shoulder. She's really hot. It was awesome. And I was just like, she looks like a young Judi Dench. I'm like James Bond in weird fan fiction. This is awesome.
Good for you. That sounds good.
Yeah, I know. I'm really proud of myself for that one. But I was talking about Judi Dench. I don't know. I want Judi Dench to be. I don't know if she's in the new GoldenEye 007 Reloaded that's finally coming to like Xbox. I want to know if she's in it because she was in the Wii version. She was in the Wii version, but it doesn't say on her IMDb page that she's going to be in the new one. And of course, no one on YouTube gives a fuck about Judi Dench.
They don't? You know? Why wouldn't they care about Judi Dench?
Because they're fucking YouTube, and they're like, bring Holmes back! Max sucks! We don't care about Judi Dench!
Oh, come on.
Tara's boobs! Upvote if you like me!
my friend was actually talking about the Destructoid show. He's not a video gamer, really. Leo VK, he did the theme tune to the video game show What I'd Done. He's a very good musician and one of my oldest friends, but he checks the stuff out just because he's sort of, just moral support, like friends do. And he watched the Destructoid show the other day, and all he had to say for himself was, I love the YouTube commenters just talking about Tara Long's boobs, even though she's not even wearing a revealing top.
Yeah.
Oh, sure.
It's amazing. And I was like, yeah, just a hint of boob, and they just come. You just say the word boob, and they just everywhere, like dripping out their trouser legs, the cat's licking it up, and they're just like, oh, I like your boob.
Yeah, just the one boob.
Yeah,
I like your boob. Yeah, it's mystifying. I've been mystified by it for a while.
I think 90% of the people who watch our show are under the age of 15, so...
Yeah, it's okay. I watched stuff when I was 15. I don't remember acting that way, though. I don't think I did. I wore pops on my head a lot at 15.
Maybe if YouTube existed back then.
What did I do?
I said maybe if YouTube existed back then.
I don't think so. I was, interested in trying to figure out how to turn a trash can into a drum set and, just rolling around, trying to keep
on a trash can. But I will tell you the weirdest thing. There are still probably more pictures of me drawn naked on the internet than Tara. By people that hate me. Because I've seen most of them. And I've never seen one nudie drawing of Tara Long. I'm not saying they don't exist, they may do. But
as far as I know, they don't.
There you go. Like, people
the most graphic one that exists is probably the one that that guy drew of me and Max, the fan art of me ass punching him.
That's a good drawing. Yeah.
Other than that,
And-
somebody made a GIF of my boobs bouncing, but that's about it. And
Well,
that was
This actually ties into my agenda, my bullet point that I want to talk about. Can I do that?
Yeah, let's do it. Yeah,
yesterday, I was having a really shitty day, and then someone sent the Destructoid show a copy of the Polish Playboy that has Tris Marigold from The Witcher 2 in it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Tell us about
And
those tits. Tell us about those fucking tits. Do you see any clitoris or not? I want to have a look at those great big mammos. And a great big juicy kebab dripping from her legs. Dirty bitch. Fucking bitch. Oh my fucking god. Can't wait to punch her in the fucking cunt.
You good?
Really, you took it as far as you could.
Are you good? There's a good smart feedback over here. It sounds like there's some rape stuck in the.
Oh, it's so gauche to laugh at yourself.
Oh, you couldn't help it. You didn't know you were going to do that, and then you did it.
I'm so sorry, Max. I'm so
It's okay.
I got carried away.
So we got this fucking filthy goddamn magazine, which is so fun because it's written in Polish, and with all due respect to any Polish listeners we have, Polish is a fucking incredible language because it looks like getting punched in the face after taking a tequila shot full of dyslexia. Tequila shot.
Yeah, we enjoyed that.
It doesn't look. It looks. All the formatting in the magazine looks like a normal magazine, but the language, it looks like someone just went on a keyboard and just typed gibberish. And I was trying to read it, and I'm just like, I'm sitting here reading a fucking magazine in Polish. I don't read Polish, and I'm trying to read it, and there's nudity in it. Why am I not looking at the tits? This brings me to my next point. I really want to start reviewing weird porn, not as porn, like any. But from a critical standpoint, I'd really like to look at it because, God knows, I'm not qualified to criticize anything else. But I really want to take, I want to find the weirdest fucking hentai and then just paraphrase it, and just explain what happens, give a summary for people who maybe don't have time to sit down and watch the whole thing, but who want to know what happened in, Nasty Sluts 5 or fucking some doujinshi shit. I don't know. But people should send me terrible porn to Max.
That is such a
People are just going to send you porn of themselves now.
Don't do that.
Jerking
Don't do
off
that
what
unless
you're
you
going to get in the
have a
mail.
story to go with it. I need a story. I need something. I really just want not stuff that's bad. Like I'm talking like
nothing illegal.
Right, Flesh Gordon, we've all seen that. It's fine. This stuff that's like the campy, bad acting 70s stuff, that's kind of like, that's passe. What I'm really curious about is the stuff where it's like, they actually want a plot there, and they're kind of like, it's like they're sick of having sex, and they just want to make a really good, Star Trek fan film.
What's that guy? What's that guy's name? Paul Raven? There's this really pretentious, douchey film director who does porn. I think it's like Michael Mark or Paul Raven, and he's the most pretentious douchebag, and he makes like really shit porn. But he thinks it's like, a journey into the mind and some shit like that. Guy's fantastic.
Yeah. I'm going to start just recording that on my webcam of just me talking about it and explaining, like, they can't delete me for that if I'm just talking filth. Like, I'll just be like, oh, here's what happened, And then, if people want to physically send me, like, actual porn that I could do, like, a review of, that I could do that, too. I'm just saying, I had a lot of fun with this Polish Playboy magazine just because I was straight up reading it. Like, I'm trying to, like, understand what they're saying about the latest tablet PCs, because there's a section in there, but it's written in Polish, and I'm pretty sure these tablet PCs aren't even coming out. And yes, there are naked chicks in this magazine, but I'm more fascinated by the fact that I can't read it, and I'm still trying to. So that's my story.
So this inspired you to want to review weird porn
I want to try
that strangers send you.
If someone can send me weird foreign porn that doesn't make any sense, I mean, I'm just digging myself deeper here. Like, I remember that time, like, It was like, someone should make
keep
a
going.
fake Twitter account for me, and now there are fucking 7 of them, and they all just berate me with weird, offensive, satirical things I would say. It's
Max Broville, and isn't there like a French one? Yeah, there's some good ones.
French Scoville, there's Little Girl Scove, there's Max Pedoville, there's Black Scoville's especially offensive. He said something
I didn't know about that one.
just dreadful about big booty bitches the other day. It was horrible.
Sounds. I'll have to look for that.
Yeah.
So that's my.
They keep tweeting
request.
at me, which is hilarious.
And me.
Yeah.
Not me.
I've got
I'm
some
not-
actual legitimate, like, fake ones, and I don't know why. And then all these Max ones started popping up, and I forgot all about mine. Pedo Scoville, I think, is the one that really jumped out at me.
Yeah.
That's
yeah.
something.
That one's particularly offensive. Well done.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to stop this now, just again to make sure that what I've got is in the bag. And then we're going to re-record, start the recording up again. And I'm going to go get Max's care package and go through that. Because heaven forbid we talk about a video game. Okay, welcome back. While we had that brief little interlude, we found out that the porn director is called Michael Raven, just in case anyone was upset that we got that wrong.
Well, if I were Paul Raven, the bass player for The Killing Joke, I would be a little annoyed that you mixed us up. Or Michael Marks from The Wasp Woman.
Okay, well,
born
we
in
got that
1910.
cleared up.
Yes, thank you.
Thank God.
Hey, you know what would really fucking suck? Being
What's
named
that?
Harry Potter. That would fucking suck.
That would.
Yeah.
Being named John Holmes hasn't been that good.
Well, there is
Been a
that
little
film,
off-putting.
which Jonathan...
Having a last name of Long isn't ideal either. For obvious
True. Yeah.
What Jonathan
Well,
Holmes
he's made
didn't
it work.
explain last week when he said take characters from Troll, a couple of people were a bit confused by that, but that's because in the movie Troll, the main character is called Harry Potter. Yeah.
Fights with magic and stuff like that.
Troll
Yeah,
is
she
a
definitely-
cool film if you've not seen it. Sonny Bono gets turned into a forest.
Yeah, that's.
Wow.
It does have that connection to Troll 2.
It's got no direct connection to Trolls.
Well, they both in Troll 2 they turn people into corn and broccoli, and in Troll 1 they turn people into like leafy greens and shrimp and stuff. So they're a little bit.
Well,
right?
anyway, I mean, if you've not seen them, like you can get it for like $10, the Troll and Troll 2 on one DVD. Get it, and that's all I'm going to say there. That's my review. Get it, because yeah. Anyway, I promised this care package, which is interesting, because I think it gives you a nice glimpse into the mind of Max Scoville. Really, I got this last week. Lovely assortment of gifts. Just arrived in a nondescript box. I'll read the love letter that was in here first. Let me just go through my bits, and I'm going to read this as it was intended because it's a love letter from Willem Dafoe.
Oh.
From Willem, not to Willem, but from him.
Max.
Yeah.
Videos give my cock diarrhea. I'm not a gay, but I wish we could get married and have a baby. If I was on an island, I wish you were there. Sincerely, the Willem Dafoe.
I think I wrote the William Dafoe. Yeah. And then there's a picture of him, isn't there?
Oh, just sort of grinning and smiling and looking like the Green Goblin. He sent me a nice paisley tie, which I wore on the last Jimquisition video in his honor.
The difficulty one?
Difficulty, yes, that is the tie that Max gave me. So, a different kind of difficulty is the episode. If you want to look at the tie. So, I know I got top quality there. Does any of them get their bras out, or anything? Can I masturbate over this?
Wait, hold on. Sorry, my Skype is being weird. What'd you say?
Yeah, I missed that too. All I got was like, hey, huh, does anyone get the brawls out or something?
Can I
I'm like, wow.
masturbate to this?
Yeah, it was just a pause and then sudden
Oh, is it
pep
the
talk.
Sex and the City movie?
Bras or not?
Okay, I actually haven't seen that. I've seen like the first 4 seasons, and I was like saving that for when I finish it. But then I was like, what am I doing? And I just stopped watching Sex and the City. I will say that Kim Cattrall is the fucking hottest woman alive in Big Trouble in Little China. She plays Gracie Law.
She's in Porky's too. She was good in Porky's.
God, I love her. And in Mannequin, and there's the gay guy from Revenge of the Nerds is in it, but he's like magic.
What? I think that's a different guy. Those are two great black gay nerds.
I'm pretty sure it's the same one.
Black gay nerd. Nope, I know my black gay nerds like the black
Okay, I'll take your word for it.
It's like Hollywood something, and then it's
Hollywood.
I just said I know my black gay nerds like the back of my hand. Now I'm blanking. It's the pressure. I can't take it. Mannequin.
You're better saying you know your black gay nerds like the back of your hand than saying that black gay nerds know the back of your hand. It makes you sound like a weird like gay pimp.
Yeah, that would be mean. I wouldn't pimp out any black gay nerds. I just try to get them some housing. That's what I usually do at my work.
Wow.
That's true. I'm laughing.
That I guess.
Yeah, you know they often need a residential program. Black gay nerd prostitutes.
They just talk
How are
over
you?
me.
What? I can't hear you.
Oh,
You talk. Whoa! Now I can hear you great.
talking over me. I said we need to crack on. I don't want this to take too long. And they're talking about
didn't hear
eating
you
black
say that.
people, apparently.
Sorry.
Oh, you're a
sound like
racist,
real
man. You're a
It's true.
racist.
I am a racist.
Big old bigot.
Big old one.
I think it's.
What do you want?
I think this box is actually smashing my keyboard and muting me.
Yeah, because I've heard you a few of the times.
But Judge Dredd versus Aliens, graphic novel, which I think this is the thing you had intended to just send me.
Right.
And then something happened.
Well, okay. Here's what happened. It was very. The box that I had, that was the box that I already had. And I was like, I'll just put it in here, and I put it in the box, and I was like, that looks awfully stupid. That's just a big box with the one comic in it. And I was giving you. I mean, you're British and you like Aliens, so I'm like, he's got to love Judge Dredd versus Aliens because it's totally one of the best Judge Dredd comics ever made. It's actually pretty fun because an alien tries to eat babies or something. But yeah, so I was like, I'm gonna send you that because you gave me that Duke Nukem belt buckle, which was really sweet. And then I was like, this box is just too empty. And then I did a bunch of shots of blueberry vodka, and then the rest happened, and I sent you ties and Sex in the City.
And you basically emptied your house of things.
Oh no, I've got a lot of crap in my house still. It's infuriating. Holmes, you're next.
Wow, that's exciting. I can't wait.
Had a metal like hangy plate of Sebastian Bach, which was actually quite fitting considering we were talking about Bach earlier.
Yeah,
was that a different?
Brian Blessed.
Yeah, Brian.
No,
Blessed.
that was this one. He's important.
I want a gold metal plate hangy thing. I've got an issue of Heavy Metal, the adult illustrated fantasy magazine, $2.50 from Lee's Comics.
That's also that's from 1979, I think. That's actually got the first part of the Alien graphic novel in there, which is really cool.
It says on the corner, featuring Alien.
It's super neat. It doesn't look like American comics, and it doesn't look like European comics. It just looks kind of heavy metalish. It's neat. So
that's good.
That sounds great.
Devo, greatest hits, burned onto a CD. That did make me laugh. Because I quite like Devo, but to have it burned onto a CDR.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yes, I say Devo, get over it. I don't conform. I'm not sure, is this a wristband or what? It's a rubber ring with whatever written on it.
Yeah, it's a cool bracelet, so you can wear, and your friends will see it, and they'll know that you don't care, because it says whatever.
Whatever. I said Devo. Whatever, mate. It's a little too small for my wrist, but it's probably just the right size for my penis. My penis is big, guys. Did you get that or not? Massive donk.
So now it's a cock ring that says whatever, so...
Whatever, I don't care. I'm having
I don't care.
sex. Having sex, listening to Devo, whatevs, bro. A plastic eye. And it looks like it's been torn from something, like it wasn't... Because I thought it was one of those eyes where you put it on a table and roll it, and because it's in, like, oil in plastic, the eye always looks up. But it's not. It's just a plastic eye.
At the Telltale Games event where they announced The Walking Dead being a new series, they gave me that in my drink, which was a zombie. And I said, I thought it was candy, and I tried to eat it, but I broke one of them, and then the other one I didn't try to eat because it was plastic. So
now I've got that.
Yeah.
Now it's my problem.
Don't eat it. It's not candy.
What's this? I didn't even know this was in here. Oh, this is an actual explanation. I didn't see this little letter at the bottom. Jim, I got horrible drunk on blueberry vodka and assembled this care package for you. I originally wanted to just send you the Aliens comic, but then I decided to get weird. LOL. That's a lovely little message.
Max, is this just your master plan to get rid of all the crap in your apartment's building up?
Oh god, yeah. No, it's so much fun. It's
Jim,
the opposite of what people do for us, when they send us like weird stuff to put on our set, They're like, here's some little bobbleheads, here's Steel Battalion. Actually, that's a really cool thing to send someone. I'm like, I don't have cool stuff, so here's my copy of Sex in the City.
Yeah,
Who wants it?
And here is a free... This one was actually legitimately good, I thought. Jim Henson's Fraggle Rock, the comic from Free Comic Day.
Oh
yeah, I have that.
It's actually cool.
Classic.
Fright Flicks, bubblegum cards. This looks like it was from 1954, so I don't want to try the bubblegum inside.
That from St. Francis?
That was part of a care package. I got sent a whole bunch of those from Occam's electric toothbrush. From Hugh. He said he did a similar care package that was like even weirder.
Oh god, this isn't like The Ring, is it? Like, if I don't pass this on, I will die in 7 days.
You might die in 7 days anyway if you try and eat that gum.
Well, that is true.
I think that's the sort of the footnote for that old urban legend. If you swallow your gum, you'll die, or it'll get stuck in your body for 10 years. That's not true unless it's bubble gum from trading cards from 25 years ago.
Yeah.
They say it takes like 7 years to digest or something ridiculous like that.
That's probably why I'm so fat, because I swallowed a lot of gum.
It's not true. You just poop it out, and it's like corn. You don't digest corn all the way either, but you poop corn out. It's just, you see it. You're like, hi, corn. So
yeah, poop corn out.
Yeah.
Rolling away from me.
I don't poop. So.
So there's that. Yeah.
Jim, did I send you the black or white teacher book?
I'm going to get onto the books now. I wanted to start with Nevada Bar's Track of the Cat, an Anna Pigeon mystery.
Oh my god.
I've never heard this before.
This is a lot of stuff.
The memory of violence and loss drove Anna Pigeon from the city to seek peace in the southwestern wilderness. Now a ranger in America's national parks, Anna is at one with nature in its serene, unspoiled majesty. But the brutal death of a fellow ranger in the remote West Texas backcountry, presumably by mountain lion attack, looks suspiciously like murder to Anna! And her unauthorized into the tragedy is placing her squarely in harm's way. For a trail with few leads, what winds through dangerous territory, where Anna must confront the dark side of the fucking desert and the human heart. That sounds
That's a cat lady mystery.
That sounds gripping the way I read that.
I collect horrible science fiction novels that I find places. That was one of them. I found that at a bus stop on 26th Avenue in Geary. And I was like, this is mine now. I am taking this now. And I passed it on to you, an Anna Pigeon mystery. What I love is they play it up like, oh, it's an Anna Pigeon mystery. Oh, great. I love Anna Pigeon. That's the first one in the series. I think there's one other one. It's like, oh, fucking Anna Pigeon. Guess what? She gets eaten by a mountain lion. She's dead. She's gone.
God, she didn't fucking... I hate it when they do that, like they think they're gonna be like Harry Potter or Lord of the Rings or whatever, and it's like, oh, I will name the series, and I will have 10 books.
Laura Pigeon.
Never happens. Poor old Anna fucking Pigeon.
Anna Pigeon. I forgot already.
But this book, I think, is more gripping than the last, because it's got a new preface. I mean, I came buckets as soon as I saw it. I'm like, well, I've got the old preface, mate, but, well, fuck a new one. Oh! This is Vivian Gusson Paley's White Teacher. Vivian Paley presents a moving personal account of her experiences teaching kindergarten at an integrated school within a predominantly white, middle-class neighbourhood. In a new preface, she reflects on the way that even simple terminology can convey unintended meanings and show a speaker's blind spots. She also vividly describes what her readers have taught her over the years about herself as the white teacher.
That sounds pretty heavy.
It's like Dangerous Minds, except you don't want to fuck Michelle Pfeiffer, and she's not in the ghetto, and it's got a new preface, too.
No, I think I need to scan the lazy-eyed, mad-looking old woman on the front cover.
Isn't the cover incredible?
Surrounded by her ethnically diverse class. It is something else.
Yeah.
What's the name of that book again?
White Teacher.
White Teacher by Vivian Gusson Paley.
It's just called White Teacher?
White Teacher, yeah.
I saw it and I was like, this looks like a Photoshop. Like, it looks like a Photoshop Friday. You know, it originally was called, like, I want to know what she puts in the preface, like, what kind of miscommunications she made that caused people to question her. She's like...
I'm so sick of teaching these... Yeah. I realised I had to say something after that, and then I realised I couldn't say anything after that. Just to round out the package, 2 packets of Advil, and a beer
Not bottles,
bottle
packets.
cap. And a beer bottle cap, Colt 45.
Yep.
That's Max Scoville's care package, ladies.
That's how I send people presents. Holmes, you get one next. It's going to be funny.
That's really exciting. Put your return address so I can send you stuff.
Okay.
I've got some junk.
Yeah, I don't know if you guys know this, but the folks in the community do this a whole lot, and there's something really fun about sending people weird presents. Mr. Andy Dixon, who we all know, Mr. Andy Dixon, the wonderful community member.
Oh yeah. He's a community manager now.
Is he community manager? Oh, that's just fucking awesome. Yeah, I knew he was suddenly on our work emails, and I was like, uh-oh, here come the boners. But yeah, he has a daughter named Miss Alice Dixon. And my girlfriend Jen made a little like cross-stitch needlepoint framed picture that just says Miss Alice Dixon and has 2 guns and 2 skulls and it's little hearts. And it's just like, that's neat. That's like, guess who doesn't do that? Motherfuckers on Kotaku. Suck it.
No, they're too professional.
Yeah. Speaking about Kotaku, at least they sometimes talk about games. I just realised we've been recording for almost an hour.
Yeah, I thought over an hour now.
This is ridiculous.
We talked about that pinball game.
Oh, this is stupid.
We talked about games. Hey, did you guys know that Lamar from Revenge of the Nerds co-starred in Snake Eater 2: The Drug Buster, starring Lorenzo Lamas?
Nope.
Wow, I wonder what kind of snakes he was eating.
No, he's a hardcore pimp in this one with a red coat. It's really good. Check it out.
Okay.
Snake Eater 2: The Drug Buster. So, video games?
Max Scoville. Max, you played a game this week.
Holy shit.
You really wanted to talk about it.
Best fucking game. Oh my god.
What is
Okay.
What is
It's on Xbox Live Arcade Indie Games, and it's called Fatal Seduction. And this was recommended to me by a community member, Shibalba, who told me, just download it. It's 80 Microsoft points. Don't read up on it. Just get it. And I am completely with him on that. It's, oh my god, it's so fucking messed up. I want you to imagine in your mind Altered Beast crossed with Squidbillies. And then and then imagine that more fucked up and make it like an episode of Special Victims Unit, and you're fucking almost there. It's so warped. You fight demon fetuses.
Sounds great.
As a little girl. It's it's fucking creepy. It's just really like it's not the best game, but it's a buck, and it's kind of an interesting thing. I'd rather have you guys play it and then like come back and tell me what you think, because it's worth checking out. It's a buck, and it's Jim. I especially thought of you because it sounds like something you'd make up.
Yeah, I was actually. I mean, you mentioned just the name in the email before we started recording, and I didn't have enough time today, but I wanted to check it out before we recorded. Just the name, just Fatal Seduction, makes me think this is a game I want to play because it sounds like promises something bad.
Yeah, it's better than I thought it would be in terms of like, I guess, quality. I was expecting like a game where you're, trying to finger bang a ghost or something, but it's not what I got. I'm disappointed.
Do they take it really seriously?
It's kind of serious. It's got a little bit of a Blair Witch thing going on for it. So like the less you know about it, almost the better.
Okay.
But yeah, I played that. I'm really trying to get more in touch with indie gaming. So I downloaded Will You Ever Find True Love for my Xbox, and that game is so terrible.
That sounds awful. I don't even know what it is. It sounds terrible.
I actually feel a little bit of like buyer's remorse. It's one of those fucking games where it's just like
you paid for that?
Shut up, Tara.
What is it?
Is it basically going off the title? It sounds like one of those art games where they basically wanted to write a poem, but
no. It's not artsy at all.
Oh, okay.
You start it up and it's like, how many girls have you been with? And I'm like, way more than that. And then it's like, do you see yourself as a family man? And I'm like, press X, maybe, eventually. And then it's like, do you put others before yourself? And it just does this for like 10 questions. And then at the end it says, you need to be less of a jerk if you ever want to find true love. And I was like...
Wait. So you actually did pay money for that?
Yeah.
How much?
This is an indie game? Is that what they called it?
How much did you pay for it, Max?
1,200 Microsoft points.
It's really not a good game. You shouldn't get it.
How is it even a game? It's just a bunch of questions, right?
Yeah, it's like
do you jump around a little bit or something?
No, you don't do anything. It's not a fucking game. It's a piece of software that they're marketing on the game store.
It's a Facebook thing.
It cracks me up. Yeah, no, it's a Facebook quiz that someone put on Xbox Live Arcade, and I pretty much knew that going into it. I just want to see how bad it was. The part that cracked me up was, how old are you? And it's like 13 to 17. 18 to 19, over 21, and I'm like, well, for teenagers.
Wow, that's funny.
That is fun.
I'm sad for you though.
Like,
sad but fun.
There's one of the questions was like, what do you like talking about your feelings? And like one of the options is burp. I like beer, and I was like, I'm fucking clicking that one, you little shit. It was made by some fucking bitter, like, lonely motherfucker, and I'm just this asshole who's like, I play video games, I'm a jerk. It was great. It was a fun thing to play, but I don't feel like I should have paid $1 for it. So that's my games of the week right there.
Well, you tried. You experimented.
Called Send In Jimmy, and I haven't had a chance to play it yet, but I'm going to, and it's called Send In Jimmy. They said it was a shooter. It's called Send In Jimmy. Okay. So it sounds like it's going to be good, I guess.
Yeah.
I like how Max kept saying the name until it got a laugh.
Guys, it's called Send In Jimmy. Sounds like something to take up. When is there going to be a Muddy Buddy game?
What a preposterous name for a video game.
Hey, Chelsea, who would name a game such a terrible lame name for a game?
I send in Jimmy because he's my dog and I get him to pick up the grouse that we've been shooting in the forest. We don't play a video game.
This game doesn't look very good. I was looking it up while we were talking about it, or while I was hearing what it was called. Yeah, it looks like you just walk around and shoot guys.
Yeah, I don't care as long as you send in Jimmy at the beginning of the game, not at the end, because I want to see Jimmy get sent in.
That's the first thing you do. I'm watching it right now.
Are you a sent-off Jimmy to rescue the president?
Start coins into your disk drive so that you may send in more Jimmys.
Whoa, it looks like it looks really terrible.
It does sound like something posh people would use to have sex, like it's a name for an ornate, bejeweled dildo on wheels that they ride around while playing polo and jizzing at the same time. Send in the Jimmy, I'm about ready. I'll be dying in time for tea.
Jimmy is the gentleman, the young Puerto Rican fellow I've painted completely gold who lives in my closet. And when I've had too much cooking sherry, I just send in Jimmy to do my business for me.
He's going to feed me elegant grapes while stuffing Fabergé eggs in my posterior. We're decadently filthy rich!
I love it. God, why don't we live in a crystal castle?
I'm so inbred I have weird sex!
Well, Send in Jimmy really doesn't look very good.
No.
I'm just letting
You don't know shit about games, Holmes. It's you send in Jimmy.
I'm just watching it right now. The first thing that happens, they're like, "Okay, Jimmy, you got to walk across this wasteland and shoot red barrels," and that's all you do at first. It looks really, really terrible. So enjoy that. Yeah.
I've been basically getting down with my bad self lately. I really want to play bad video games and watch bad porn. You know?
Yeah. And those books sounded pretty bad too.
Yeah, they're pretty bad. I'm gonna be reading some. I have one called Cyber Books by Ben Bova.
By Dead Vulva? Sounds
No, by Ben Bova. I got it for free. So
I'm sorry, Ben. I mixed up your name with Dead Vulva. So out of it.
Would anybody like to talk about video games?
Yeah, I can try. My brain is. I don't know if Tara's even still with us. Are you there,
I'm here.
Tara?
Tara, if you got...
Isn't it hard? I mean, when Jim and Max get on a roll like this, my brain starts to melt. Like, I've been trying to think for the past 20 minutes. Yeah, my brain's gone.
I can't come until I get on a roll. A big one baked in the largest kitchen in Europe.
I only have sex with women who have wheels.
That was great pronunciation. I enjoy it. I'm saying.
I can't come unless I've got a waffle between
I'm going to pee.
Yeah.
Okay, when we come back, we'll stop. But in the meantime, fetch me my lost Gurney. I wish to ride about the hallways in nudity.
Bury me in the sand pit and bring in the ostrich. I shall be upside down with my legs apart, and whatever happens is on the ostrich's head.
Whoa.
I do fail to find out which of these melons has been filled with broken glass.
What?
Would you care to guess how I will find this out?
Bring me Winkle Watson and the Bishop of Bath and Wells. First one to make the servant boy... First one to make the servant boy choke gets 1,000 shiny shillings. Spend those shillings at Mrs. Mulligan's sensual emporium of erotic delights for the discerning gentleman.
Tonight I will not be drinking wine. My glass will be filled to the brim with rubies.
I see I didn't miss much.
No, they said they'd just keep
Get me Walt Disney's head! I want to kick it off an elephant!
Wow, they're rich. They've got Walt Disney's head and an elephant, yeah.
Oh, they're so rich, Jonathan Holmes, they can afford anything as the joke, and they've gone loopy with it. Oh, they've gone bananas with all their money.
It would be really great to dress you and Max up with powder your faces and
Oh, God, I
the
wanna
wigs
do
and the
that.
I have
dresses and stuff.
always wanted to do that. I want to walk around Mississippi in a Georgian, like, full-on Georgian costume, and a kerchief in my hand, powdered wig, makeup on the face, lipstick, walking around Walmart saying, "Oh, this is once again the property of Her Majesty!" Oh no, His Majesty, it would have to be the King. His Majesty the King! Everybody here in Mississippi's, raise your hand!
Attention, members of the Sportsman Zeppelin Club. Today's game of hedgehog croquet has been cancelled, so we will be gathering in the dining hall to wax a panda bear and remove its fur the difficult way.
Have you seen my new shoes? They are 2 crocodiles! Full-bodied crocodiles for walking in the snow. A snow that I have had shipped in from Finland.
Yeah, at PAX.
You see
PAX
this
Prime.
snow in my yard?
Oh,
This
forget
is
it.
my winter of discontent.
I want
It would be
5 golden new reeds. 5 of them civil play, all singing the most obscure Velvet Underground song you can find. I think Sister Ray for today, please.
Oh, we are having all of tomorrow's parties.
So, if you guys could do that at PAX, that would
Oh
be
yeah.
great.
I think that's
Just
good.
dress up like that. Dress up in the fineries. It's hard to get those dresses, though. I mean, you'd have to wear dresses and stuff, right? Are they in drag, these
They're
things?
men. They're gentlemen.
Those are guys?
Oh, yeah.
They're gentlemen dandies, fops and bows.
They all sound like Julia Child, but fuck them, you know?
They're decadent, fancy men.
This whole time I was picturing, like, those ladies.
No.
But you said lipstick and stuff.
Picturing the most rakish of coxcombs.
So,
I beg your pardon, sir. What are you accusing me of? I have never had my crumpet unbuttered.
so that's code for that thing, right? I'm trying to stick.
Not unless you count the servant boy, and they're not real people anyway. They're poor.
Oh, that reminds me of a few stories, but okay, we're at an hour and a half, I think.
Oh,
Look at this poor fool. He can only afford to have his legs shaved by Mark Knopfler.
The actor?
wait, is he from the Dire Straits?
Yes.
'Cause
You.
my friend was like, my friend's boyfriend does like guitar repair in Virginia or something, and they hung out with him. And I was like, while he's there, you should get him to help you move some, some televisions and these color TVs and refrigerators. If you had a chance to hang out with the guy from the Dire Straits, wouldn't you be like, oh, hey man, if you're not busy,
Oh,
could you help me? Yeah.
Actually,
Anyone?
if I
Get those
if I
microwave
met
ovens?
if I met Mark Knopfler from the band Dire Straits, I would look at him for an hour, just going, I want my MTV. Pissed my wife off the other day doing that. She was getting really into the song. They don't play it on the radio very often. As soon as that bit kicked off, she was getting really into it, and I just started going, I want my MTV. I want my MTV.
I'm gonna try to do it. I'm gonna try to reel us in. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna try right now.
Oh, Holmes.
There's no
I'm
sense.
doing it.
Just give it up.
I can do it. I'm gonna do it.
Give it up.
Like I said,
So-
I'm in a really overexcited mood today, and I'm very sorry, ladies and gentlemen, for getting overexcited and acting like a giddy schoolboy.
No, that's great. I'm glad you're excited.
I'm
It's
going to
just,
sit and with my finger over my mouth.
I apologize
No.
for nothing.
What about that? I'm just thinking, pushing it into the.
No, I have been a naughty boy, Jonathan Holmes. And
No, I've enjoyed
you
it.
are going to have to discipline me.
I didn't
You're going to
think-
have to spank my little bottom, my little bottom red raw, and then finger it and all.
Oh, God damn it.
Oh, you
so-
did a little snort then.
I did.
Oh,
I
like
did.
a little fuck pig.
Yeah, I do have traits. People sometimes say I look like the baby from Dinosaurs. I take it as a compliment. He sold
Do the
T-shirts. He was a cute little guy.
You look exactly like him, Holmes.
Do the impression.
Do I really? Oh,
Okay,
he's
wait, hold on, I'm Googling it right now.
Do the impression.
Oh yeah, he's I'm the baby. Gotta love me like that. He's
Wait.
a little guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, you look like another one of the characters from Dinosaurs. Hold on.
The dad, the fat dad, or the grandma maybe.
You look
I
like
could
a
go for
cross
the
between
grandma.
the baby from Dinosaurs and Matt Pinfield from MTV.
Two
But you're,
like
muscular.
leathery, wet. Yeah, they're very wet. The two of those. I always look kind of shiny, unfortunately.
You're gonna love this thing I'm making you, by the way. It's really coming out well. It's not Milk Tank though. It's not Milk Tank. I want you to think of other Pokemon with the physique of Milk Tank who should not have the physique of Milk Tank.
Could be Blissey or Chansey. Chansey's a good one.
No. What I'm saying is I made one of the other Pokemon really fat by accident, but it's funnier, so I'm going with it.
Yeah, that could be great. I like when things are fattened up in general. So I'm gonna do it. Video game. I got some import video games in the mail.
Tell us about him, Jonathan Holmes, from the internet.
I got Rhythm Heaven on the Wii, and I got Pandora's Towers, another game people talk about sometimes, and I got 3D Classic Xevious. You know that thing?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So that's it. I talked about the video games. Now, what do you guys want to talk about?
Goats are funny animals. No, have you played Pandora's Tower yet?
Yeah, I did.
Yeah, how's it? Let's talk about
I
that.
really like it. I've only played it for a little while because Rhythm Heaven really took up most of my brain. But I really liked how in Pandora's Tower it's that particular feeling you get from Japanese games that are trying to interpret the feeling of European fairy tale. I got that feeling from Ico and from Shadows of the Colossus. So you get that kind of feel, but with a creepy anime vibe to it. You guys have watched Japanese cartoons before, right?
Yes. Oh god, yeah.
So, you know the archetype of like it can be a man or a woman, but it doesn't matter. They're small and shriveled, and they're sort of Yoda-ish but creepier, and they usually have a voice like, "Oh, and kondo no ne,
That is amazing.
Wow, you're really good at that.
Oh, thanks. I love those characters. There's one in Ninja Scroll. There's one in like Demon City Shinjuku. They're always in it. And there's one in Pandora's Tower that's awesome. It's this weird hag with death just attached to it like a backpack. So there's this giant death just hanging out with the hag, and it talks occasionally too, but only in gibberish. And since I don't know Japanese that well, I can't figure out why any of this is happening, but it's you, the death hag, and the beautiful woman who's slowly turning into like a half snail zombie, and you have to kill demons with a hook shot from Legend of Zelda and pry their hearts out, and then give it to the hag, and then the hag is like, and like gets really ecstatic about it, and then forces the beautiful snail girl to eat the heart.
Wow.
And she's really miserable about it, but then she feels much better after she eats it. That's like the first 30 minutes.
That
20
is
minutes.
Terrifyingly authentic, your hag, though. Your Japanese hag.
Oh, thanks. Yeah, I love it a lot. I want to just be with that hag in real life. So I pretend. But sometimes it's a guy though, like in Devilman. Have you guys seen Devilman, the original one?
Nope.
With the turtle
No,
box?
I haven't seen that actually.
You should see it. There's a turtle who's got all these human faces in his shell, and he just does that voice again. I'm not going to do it again for the third time, but yeah, it's good.
Do
You should watch
it again.
Okay, so Devilman comes down to the swamp, and he's like, "Listen, my mom is in your shell. Her soul is in your shell. I want you to let her out." And the turtle's like, and then Devilman's really mad and kills him. And,
Nice.
his laugh is great. You gotta watch that, and you should play Pandora's Tower. It's good. I like it. And Rhythm Heaven is really good too. I can't believe how good it is. Actually, I thought it would be like the DS one, except on the Wii, but they really evolved it. It's much more intricate in terms of the rhythms that you have to do. It's much more difficult and detailed. It's very good. I'm very happy about it.
Oh, that's cool. I'm actually looking.
And that's it.
Like I said, you're going to have to tell me how to fuck up my Wii because I'm sick of it. I'm done.
Oh.
I'm done. I'm done playing by Nintendo of America's rules.
Yeah, I don't blame you. I've had mine modded for a while just for first it was for Fatal Frame 4 and for Tatsunoko vs. Capcom before it came out in the United States. I had to get that. It's so much better. Even the homebrew apps are better than Nintendo's attempts at the same thing. Like there's an app called the Homebrew Browser, which as long as your Wii is connected to the internet, it goes to some server somewhere that some guy just set up, and it's like a shop where you can just download all the free homebrew applications like emulators and games and like MP3 players and stuff. Yeah, and it's so easy to navigate and scroll through. It's much easier to scroll through than the WiiWare shop. Now, I'm not advocating piracy with this, but if you okay, how do I talk myself out of that one? I don't know.
Just go boo! That's what I always do.
Yeah, I'm not used to talking. There was so much time on the podcast where I was just listening to you guys, and I'm trying to remember how to talk, and it's hard. All right,
sorry,
I talked a little.
I just saw a post by Epic KXDtoid on the Ocean Man pinball table. Just in all capital letters. I can't wait to sink my silver balls in Mr. Detoid's hole. Wanting hole. I love that.
He's getting funnier and funnier. When he first started off, he was really mean to a lot of people when he first came on Detoid, and since then he's really toned it down and has just gone for straight comedy, and people love him.
Yeah,
as they should. He's a great guy.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
So there you go. There's a treat for Detoid listening to this bit now. Epic KX Man face. Get a better name. I play From Dust. I figured it's about time I mentioned a video game. I played From Dust, and it is a game with a really good idea. A genuinely good idea that would have been a fantastic addition to somebody else's game. And that is the issue with my review, which went up today at the time of recording, yesterday at the time of you're listening to this. I gave it a 5.5 out of 10. I said it was a mediocre experience. I did not want to take anything away from how beautiful the game is and how fascinating the physics are, but it is still a boring game. When you have one really good idea, you run the risk of over-exploiting that one idea if you've got nothing else, to the point where all the magic from the originality just drains. And I was like that by the second level. The idea is you are the breath, and you have these little tribal guys called the men, and you basically terraform. You pick up the earth from one area and put it on another, and using genuinely awesome physics, they'll plonk down and form little mountains or whatever. You can pick up water and put out fires and move it wherever it needs to go. You can pick up lava, drop that, and it'll solidify, turn into rock. And the behaviour is really impressive, and there's some genuinely interesting things, pick up some dirt, put it over a river, build a little bridge, send your little men to a totem, and they will chant at the totem and make a village. And they'll do that over and over and over again for the rest of the game, because your only real job is picking up bits of muck from one area and drop muck elsewhere. In a really rather slow way as well. The game is very slow-paced, and I can tell they wanted to go for elegant simplicity, but it was too much. They went too far. They went too far in the opposite direction from Black and White, which a lot of people said had too much to do. Now there's not enough at all. You can't really interact with your guys. When your guys are in trouble, you are helpless to save them. Your only job is to point at a totem and say, go over there and do your thing. They'll go over there, make a village. They'll go goes to a rock and pass knowledge around to help them like make water pass around the village rather than flood it. And I said in the review, and I was actually quite proud of this like line because it sounded profound, which is rare for me. And I just said, if ever a game gives you the feeling of a god bound in chains, this is it. Because that is
pretty profound.
You have the power to explode mountains, to make mountains, to direct the flow of the sea, to move the earth itself, but you can't stop a little man in a mask from falling into the river and drowning. You know? You can't talk to your followers, you can't really direct them. Once you tell them to go somewhere, they'll make their own path, even if it's not the path you just spent half an hour painstakingly building. They'll be like, oh no, I want to walk around, I want to walk through this bit of river. Rebuild the path, please, son. So you've got to rebuild everything that even though you've made them a perfectly legible path. I say legible, workable path.
Right.
The guys will just walk off on their own sort of thing, and you can't really control them. So you are basically like an incredibly powerful god that can't really do anything useful.
Can he do like storms or lightning or anything? Or
no, they are level-specific puzzles.
Okay.
When heavy rain comes, that is at a predetermined point within a level. And then that is a challenge you've got to work around. Like everything in it is a puzzle. Like tsunamis will come at like every 4 minutes, and your job is to like time when you send a man to go get like the water repelling knowledge and everything. It's
I played it last year, and I talked to the developer, and he had a lot of big ideas for it that it doesn't sound like they ever actually made it into the game, which is unfortunate.
I mean, it's very stripped down. Like you don't really do much.
I wonder if they ran out of money.
I played it at E3 this year also, and I enjoyed it. But even in my 10-minute demo, I could kind of see that the motions were really repetitive, and that it was just kind of the same idea over and over again.
Yeah, pretty much. I think I briefly mention From Dust last week, and I said I was trying to be very like vague and elusive, and I was like, I hope it develops from where I am into something else.
You didn't mention what the game was.
Yeah. Well, there you go. Like I mentioned how like it's interesting, but I hope it develops from there, and it never does. You know, they'll give you like lava to play with later. They'll give you a tree that you can make explode, but by dropping like more lava near it a bit. But you know, it's just so. It's like. You spend your whole time thinking, let me go down there and kick the shit out of the lava because I'm a god, you know? It's like, you just end up wanting to do something else. By the time it was like, I was finished with it, I was like, I just wanted to drop lava on the villagers because it was the only interactivity you can have with them.
Lava them?
Yeah, and that annoyed me because I was really fascinated by these little like characters because they had these really kooky masks. They looked a bit like the Leaf guys from
Wind Waker.
Yeah,
I like these guys.
But they do nothing. Like they'll build a village, and animals will start coming when you fill up enough land with vegetation, and then nothing. Like, just nothing happens. The animals wander about, the men wander about, you can't interact with them, you can't make them do anything, it's not like Settlers or something where you can build and become invested in a whole working village. It's just nothing. It's just it's just one idea. It feels like a tech demo of just look at our physics. You know, it is the PS1 Tyrannosaurus Rex, except you've got to pay $15 to play with it.
That's a shame. I wonder. Hopefully he'll do better next time. This was his big comeback. The Eric Chakai, I think it's how you pronounce it.
And it is a shame because I wish nothing but good things for him because it's a genuinely interesting idea. It just needed... It's just what you're given is something that would be a fantastic feature or a gimmick in another game with a lot more to it. The central concept isn't strong enough to stand up as its own game, though. Right, and that's my biggest problem with it. And it's a shame, because I was really looking forward to it. I was like, come on, Summer of Arcade, don't let me down. I wasn't too fond of Bastion. It was okay, as I said. I didn't love it. But From Dusk, this is going to be the one. This is going to mesmerize me. And again, reviews have been a bit more mixed, but the high-end ones were like, oh, I got lost in From Dusk's world. This wonderful sandbox. I was like, but there's nothing to do. How did you get lost? How did you not know what your objective was? There was just sand. From Dust is all sand, no box. That's. I wish I'd put that in the review. All sand, no box.
That's
and that's what I think of. Again, I apologise to the people on N4G who wish that I wrote using their brains, but
I was going to ask you about that. I'm always fascinated with that. When people say, well, I specifically wanted you to write something else, something that I already think about this game. Why couldn't you get someone who thinks exactly like me to write this review so I could read my own thoughts?
Yeah.
Isn't that strange when that happens?
Well, there was that one knobend who kept like, oh, why didn't you get Tara Long to review this? And I'm like, because she's not a video game reviewer. If I had that power, why couldn't I get Justin McElroy from Joystick or the guys from Edge to do it? And I think.
And why exactly? I mean, did they mention why they wanted?
I think because Tara has said nice things about it on the Destructoid show, and
yeah, I was really looking forward to it. And even after I played with it at E3, I said positive things about it because I genuinely enjoyed it.
And that's how you write a review. You've got to make sure you're 100% guaranteed the person who's going to play it is going to like it.
Or not. It's interesting. When I reviewed Mega Man 9, I remember Dexter, who's our friend, who is even writing for us more now. At that time, he was just in the comments, and he was like, why couldn't you get someone who doesn't like Mega Man to write the Mega Man 9 review? I want the perspective of someone who hates it like me. I'm like, well, they would just hate it, though.
And there you go. Yeah, you can't please everyone.
I was puzzled by why he
you get people who are like, well, why don't we do multi-man reviews again? Why don't we have one person who doesn't like it and one person who does review it? And I'm like, because then every game would be a 5. I'm sorry, you got to think these things through. But I gave up in the comments. I mean, I don't even read comments that much anymore, and I only really hear about what people are saying on NeoGAF and N4G. None of it good, what I hear, but I gave up looking myself, because it's just boring. But I did end up just posting in the From Dust review, well, why couldn't we get why couldn't we get a Freddy Krueger's to do it? I mean, really, if we're going to ask, why don't we get people that don't review games to review games? Speaking of Freddy Krueger's, actually.
What do you guys think of that?
Did you want to talk about that, John?
Yeah, I'm interested, because you guys all know about Freddy Krueger, and I was surprised by how
killed
much...
a bunch of people. He killed all those people.
You sounded so raspy about it.
It's terrible. He killed a bunch of people. I haven't talked for 30 seconds, minute.
It's weird when you don't talk for a while, right? I really got bad at talking. I really lost practice. I feel like I'm back now, though. I can talk again. I was surprised by how controversial it seemed to be that Freddy Krueger was announced as a downloadable character for Mortal Kombat 9.
I was surprised by the controversy.
Yeah, you too, right?
Yeah, that people cared. I really was surprised like you. It's like, oh, well, this ruins the Mortal Kombat legacy. Well, sorry, what? What was this strict, sacred canon in Mortal Kombat? It's
fucking perfect. I was half hoping we'd get Ed Boon as a playable character. That would be awesome.
Yeah.
Well, that's a noob Tobus, right?
No. I mean, just Ed Boon in some slacks and a blue shirt, and he takes his eyebrows off and uses them as a boomerang.
He's too humble for that, I think.
This is a game where one of the programmers will jump up in front of the screen and go Toasty, and you're expecting sense of any.
They turn into babies and make friends when you win.
Sometimes.
What do you want?
If you do the right moves.
It's ridiculous.
Yeah, and the whole, what I said in the post about it was the series was based on killing people. It was like, well, this is the series where you do gory, inventive murders at the end and kill your opponent, rip out their parts in different ways. That's what Freddy Krueger is all about, is inventive kills. So that was perfect.
Yeah, I mean,
I actually I was looking for a video I did. I interviewed Ed Boon at the VGAs last year, and I found the fucking YouTubist fucking YouTube comment Let me begin. This is from fucking N. Bertuzzi. He says, Ed Boon is the biggest FKN Scorpion homer. It's absolutely sicking how much favoritism Scorpion gets compared to Sub-Zero. All you see is Scorpion beating up Sub-Zero in all the trailers for the new game. They should be equals. This moron is going to kill the Mortal Kombat brand. He's going to kill Mortal Kombat.
That is absolutely sicking.
Isn't that? Yeah.
Some people get mad at us when we read YouTube comments aloud and then laugh. We didn't say anything about the guy. We didn't insult him.
I reckon he's a prick. I reckon he's a homer? A sicking homer?
Sicking homer.
Yeah, that's what he is.
He is going to kill the Mortal Kombat brand.
Yeah. Freddy Krueger is a cool idea. Mortal Kombat, I think the glorious thing about Mortal Kombat, now I'm not a big fighting game fan, as I've said many times, but I really appreciate Mortal Kombat as a series. My wife is a big fan of it. I like to watch her play it. And I like to watch fighting games, I don't really play them. But I love Mortal Kombat especially because it's got this very simple honesty about it. It's got this really unpretentious, just... We do, and Ed Boon gives this off when you hear him talk. Yeah. Listen to his, you read his amazing Twitter feed, but he'll answer any question asked of him. He's just got this "I do not give a fuck" attitude. It's like Ninja Lizard. Why the fuck not? Why haven't we had this sooner? Of course we want one, and it's so simple in that way, just so honest, just so any idea we have goes in. And they want Freddy Krueger in Mortal Kombat? Why the fuck not? It makes sense.
It's a game that's kind of made by people with the mindset of really imaginative 11-year-olds. And they're like, yeah, and he fucking throws a chain at him and it rips his fucking heart out. Yeah. And they turn into babies, and then one of the babies turns into a dragon. You know?
Yeah, but they take it really seriously. They know... They know it's ridiculous, but at the same time, they... care a lot about it, so it's not like it's carelessly...
there is a good, albeit very silly story, running through Mortal Kombat that is delivered with, in a very straight-faced way. But
exactly.
It is still, somehow that works. If anything, I think that makes it better. It's got this straight-faced story running through it in a thing about, skeleton hell ninjas and lizard ninjas and all this stuff.
Just a random bald man who's painted totally white with huge shoulder pads who's like, bring me my sword, all of a sudden. Just, what? Why do you want a sword?
I'm going to throw hammers at you. Where are the hammers coming from?
Yeah, I can embrace that.
Freddy Krueger totally makes sense in the franchise. I was actually a little bit kind of iffy about Kratos, but Freddy Krueger and Jason, and if they had Ash from Army of Darkness, all of that would work in there. Because it's like, with Freddy Krueger, the first one, they kind of had to try to have a serious thing, but then they're like, yeah, he just fucking hates teenagers. And then he was going to fight Jason Voorhees, because Jason went to hell, and now Jason's frozen in space. It's all kind of... It doesn't make any sense.
Doesn't have to. Absolutely.
Exactly. It almost did a little.
You're right.
I saw Freddy vs. Jason in theaters.
I like that film. I watched it the other day.
Yeah, me too. I saw it with 10 developmentally disabled adults all over the age of 40.
Yeah, people did that around the country.
And they were so excited about it. It was all because I worked at a day program for developmentally disabled adults at that time, and they were chanting, Freddy, Freddy, Freddy. And then we got in the theater, lights turn off. Immediately they all fall asleep, just like the loudest snoring. As soon as it's just like lights go off, bedtime, and it's over.
That might be the best. That might be the best movie-going experience I've ever heard about.
It was really great.
Well, maybe they just thought if they did it while the movie was playing, they would meet Freddy.
That's kind of yeah.
That's meta. Yeah.
Maybe they're thinkers. They're ahead of us.
Well, I asked them, so how'd you like the movie? They're like, it was great. And I'm like, what's the best part? They're like, when he killed himself. But there was this one guy, his name was Tony. Just a quick story about Tony. I hope you don't mind. And no matter what you talk to Tony about, if it was movies, if you asked him, "How do you like the movie, Tony?" It was new Spider-Man. How'd you like the new Spider-Man movie? Good. What'd you like about it? I like Spider-Man. That's great. What do you like about it? He killed himself.
Yes.
No, he didn't. He's like, no, he did. He did. He killed him. He killed him.
Wow.
See the movie? Yeah. What'd you like about it? Killed himself. Yeah. Yeah,
Jesus.
Tony's. I like.
I wish I saw all movies the way he does. That'd be amazing. I tell you what, though, on the subject of Freddy being in Mortal Kombat, I was disappointed that it is blatantly the new one.
Yeah.
I must say, I mean, I stopped caring after that. It's like, the trailer was cool, and then I looked at his face, and I was like, that doesn't look... No, oh.
If you're really attached to the character, it's pretty disappointing.
Yeah.
But it's
If you really want Robert Englund in a video game, you can go play, Black Ops. Get that deal.
Oh, that is true, yeah.
Yeah.
I know Ed Boon was like, he was trying to say, it's neither. It's neither one. Like, it's a new Freddy, but it looks and sounds like the new one. What are we going to do there? And in a way, I kind of get it, like, New Line wanting to promote that one over the old ones. But it was a bit of a shame. That said, there are, like, big rumors about Jason coming out, and Jason is my boy. Like, respect to Freddy, but Jason is my boy. So I'm looking forward to that, and I actually don't mind which version they use, whether it's the old one or the new one. A, because they're very indistinguishable, and B, because...
Is there a difference?
In a way, like the old Jason was just a more straightforward walkie, machete, everyone has a good time. Whereas the new Jason is more of a hunter, like more of a survivalist type guy, and his deaths are a bit more like hunting and trapping and that sort of thing, which I actually thought was a cool addition. Like, I know Adam Dork was very unimpressed, and a lot of people weren't big fans of it, but he fucking straps someone up in their sleeping bag and then, like, ties it to a rope and dangles it over a campfire, which I thought was amazing.
He's a sportsman. He's a sporting man.
And he uses a bow and arrow, like a hunting bow at one point, and it was just a little. I thought it was a very subtle change, but one that worked in the character's favour. So
like
I don't mind.
Bauer tried to kill people.
Yeah, exactly.
I thought I saw that movie. I don't remember any of that. Is the sequel the one where he goes to the house and bothers them?
I think you saw the Halloween one, the Rob Zombie Halloween.
No, I saw those too, but I swear to God, I saw one they water ski.
I don't think there is a sequel in to
Maybe I only saw the first one then.
There is a water ski bit, and he has a bow and arrow and shoots a guy.
Yeah, and there's an Asian nerd who's horny and alone.
He's the dude from Disturbia who plays Shia's best friend, fucking Ronnie, and he drinks beer out of a shoe to try and impress a girl. Sorry.
Okay. I'll buy that. I haven't seen any Shia LaBeouf movies other than the Indiana Jones and Transformers and
fucking Disturbia. Disturbia is like, it's the Rear Window for fucking asshole teenagers who don't know anything about Hitchcock, and it's fucking great. I love it.
I'll have to see it. It's easy to get. I'll track it down. So yeah, we did good. I started talking okay again, I think.
That's all right.
Sorry if I didn't. Did I talk? I felt bad about not talking good.
No, you talked. You did talk. You did a good talk. You did talk in gooder for it.
You did good things talking.
I like the bit where you killed yourself.
Yeah, I like that. The best part is the part where you kill yourself.
Yeah. Tara Long, we haven't heard anything from you.
I know. I'm not even sure how to contribute to this discussion anymore.
It's hard. Yeah, it's pretty tough.
Do you like Freddy Krueger in Mortal Kombat?
I think it's kind of cool, actually. I don't see why people are complaining. Although his character, like, it doesn't seem like you... Somebody pointed out similarities between him and Wolverine, and I kind of agree with that. It's weird that he has two claws.
Good God. Yeah. Oh, my God.
What?
I'm just...
You're
Max,
so upset,
this is Tara's bitch. She hasn't been able to talk much because we've been talking bollocks about rich inbreds.
Tara is an expert on Wolverine. I shouldn't interrupt, you're right.
Fuck you, Max Scoville. I'm never buying you a tart again.
That was a really good little tart, I'm sorry.
Oh, you got him a tart?
It was so good.
Oh, what kind of tart? Was it
It was a fruit
A
tart.
really like a 1-inch round little fruit tart with like a single grape on it and a quarter of a strawberry or something.
It looked like a fucking
It was
hat
really
from the royal
tiny.
wedding, but it was tiny.
That sounds great.
Yeah, if like the borrowers had a royal wedding, someone would wear one of those tarts as a hat.
They're mice, right?
They're the size of mice, you know.
Oh,
I
they're
like
humans?
mice, though. Yeah, they're like little
Oh.
shit humans. Like, I don't know.
Are they like the Littles? I remember the Littles.
Yeah, they're like the
Yeah.
borrowers just steal shit. You know, they're the reason for me not being able to find stuff.
Oh, because they stole it?
No, they borrow it, but it's like, motherfuckers, you never gave it back. You fucking wearing that fucking thimble for a hat for 2 weeks, and I've been looking for that thimble for a while. So stop it. Anyway,
I'll have to bone up on that later.
yeah,
Did you
bone up
guys
on
want to talk about...
borrowers.
I will. Did you guys, you know how people hate Capcom now? Is that interesting enough to talk about?
Have we got time to cover this?
Yeah, I think we can do it in a
Let's
minute.
do
We're
it,
going to
let's do
practice conciseness now.
Are we?
This is our
Okay.
practice time.
Go on,
Yeah,
then.
so for 1 minute we will talk about how people hate Capcom now. That's stupid. You shouldn't hate Capcom now.
Absolutely not.
They had to make a business decision based on how much money they thought they were going to lose off a video game. Otherwise, they would have produced it. And Ultimate Marvel vs. Capcom 3, you should be excited about that. It's a much better version of the original game, except for cheap. And if you don't want it, you don't have to buy it. They're not destroying the old game and making it unable for you to play online or with your friends, so you still have that option. But if you want the option for 12 more characters and all these different editions, you can shell out for it. Just $40. I can't believe people are complaining about that. It's this future we live in, where people complain,
well, no.
Yeah.
The fucking first game came out for $60, like
Right.
last year. I mean,
Yes.
remember when Street Fighter 4 came out and a bunch of people bought it, and then like a bunch of people bought the other one, and then there was another one after that, and then it's just like they need to like either do a better job with DLC or they need to put more shit in their game when they release it, because they milk their audience. I mean,
Yeah,
that's a fact.
Here's the thing.
Well, that's not how I see it, but I see
This
where
is
it
my
comes
question.
From, yeah?
When has this been different for Capcom?
Yeah, this is what they've always
Hasn't this been going on for like ever since they started making these fully fledged fighting games? Like this always happens, and just because people are pissed about the Mega Man Legends 3 thing, they're now like looking for further excuses to talk about how badly Capcom treats its fans. Here's the thing: if you think that this was announced too soon, play the original Marvel vs. Capcom 3 for another year, then buy it. If it's that important to you that you get like this set amount of time with Marvel vs. Capcom 3 before you get the Ultimate one. By that time, it'll probably be less than $40.
Yeah, it's this weird future we're in where people are like, they're giving me too many video games to play. Too soon. They're giving me too much stuff I like before I'm ready to like it. Like,
maybe I'm arguing from a different perspective because I'm, as a very self-confessed Dynasty Warriors fan, and I'm very used to these quasi-expansions that come out later, like very soon after. I've been playing Dynasty Warriors 7, and now Dynasty Warriors Extreme Legends was announced, and that'll come out for a bit cheaper with like some more characters in it and some more like maps and modes. It's exactly the same thing, actually. So I'm very used to it, but I don't consider it like mistreatment of fans. Because I really don't have to get them. This is different than something like... Because people are like, oh, well, this is just like you complaining about the 3DS. Which is different because when you buy a console, you make an investment on the understanding that you will be getting more content. Whereas with this, it's like, you already know what characters are in it, you know what the price is, and you've already got the other game. You can play that for as long as you like. Capcom isn't going to make the old game spontaneously combust as soon as Ultimate comes out.
And it's a lot of content in this new game. It would be one thing if it was like 4 new characters, which is what they used to do. They sold Street Fighter 2 Championship Edition with 4 new characters for another $60. And we're just like, yeah, you'll take what you can get. But this is 12 characters. If they charged it for DLC, it would be... What's 12 into 50? Do you know, Tara? Are you listening?
12
you know
into
math.
50?
Yeah, 40, I'm sorry. Was that 5?
No, it's like 3 1/3.
Yeah, so it's like $3 per character, plus 8 new stages, plus they refined characters that exist, like Ryu has an invisible fireball now, and Bionic Commando has a bunch of new moves. So they put a lot of extra work into the game, which if they were to charge it, if they use DLC to sell it, it's not like it would be cheaper that way. And like you're saying, you can just buy it later. And come on, it's fighting games. With fighting games, the way it works is they release the game, people play it and find all the problems with it because it takes literally like a beta team of hundreds of thousands of people to find all the flaws with the fighting game when it comes to infinite combos and all that stuff. And then they take that feedback and then they are able to fix it. That's how they've been doing it forever. And not just Capcom. That's how just about every fighting game developer handles it from what I know.
Pretty much.
So yeah, that's my rant.
This has been going on for the whole time, and I think people are very angry at Capcom now for partially justified reasons and partially very unjustified reasons. Everyone's got a right to be annoyed. I have loved the look of many games that got cancelled before they came out, and it can be a little bit heartbreaking. But let's not hate Capcom, especially as Capcom is one of the few companies that at least show a willingness to listen to their fans and have a really kick-ass community. And it does seem to me that the ones that foster big communities and seem to give a shit and get involved get shat on more than the ones that keep the fans at arm's length. I look at Valve, Capcom, Sega. Whatever you think about the company's output, the actual face they present and their community managers get so invested in the community and give a fuck, and they get shat on more than something like, say, EA or whatever. We all shit on EA when it makes... sorry, that was a squeaky tune. We all shit on EA or Activision when they make a shitty decision or whatever, but they don't get the level of hatred that these guys get from their fans, from the guys who call themselves fans.
I think that's because they don't know who to hate.
Ike and Tina shit right there,
Yeah.
I love you so much. Fucking love Sonic the Hedgehog. What the fuck is wrong with you, Sega? What the fuck is my Sonic the Hedgehog?
Look what you've made me do.
Yeah, I feel particularly bad for Seth Killian, with people making up all those rumors about him.
That. The rumor he got punched in the face at the Capcom booth?
I immediately asked him about that. He's like,
was it they thought it would come true if they say it? This is a never-ending story or something?
They wanted people to believe it and to really foster hostility towards Capcom, which is just making video game players look bad. I mean, Seth Killian cared about Mega Man Legends 3 more than just about anyone outside of the company. He was really, really invested in that. He's really bummed that they canceled it. And so are the people who are actually making the game at Capcom, and yet... Bah. Yeah.
It's such a fucking, ridiculously wussy thing to do. You, spread a rumor that someone got punched. Spread a rumor that someone got punched. Video games don't cause violence. They don't.
They cause rumors
you
about
achieve violence.
Yes. Yeah. I think another thing, please stop directing your anger at community managers. I know they are the face of the company to you, but as a community manager, they probably have less control than a lot of other people in that company. I think about Dan Amrich, who is better known as One of Swords, and he's Activision's community guy. He is a fucking class act. A really cool dude. Has always been really nice about Destructoid and my own articles, and we got into a drunken argument about whether or not Bobby Kotick's an arsehole once. And he he held up his end of the argument really well and respectfully and intelligently. But people tore the shit out of him when they cancelled Guitar Hero and the True Crime game. And it's he didn't make the decision, and he seemed incredibly gutted himself. And very upset that it had happened. And yet, while he's upset about a team he liked getting the axe and a game he liked getting the axe, he was being attacked for it. And that's when you're upset because something at your work has gotten you down, the last thing you need is a bunch of people who don't know what the fuck they're talking about blaming you for it. And that goes for Seth Killian, and that goes for Dan Amrich, and that goes for anyone else who like any community manager who you've blamed for a game being cancelled or a studio getting the axe, it's not only their fault, it's also probably cut them up more than it's cut you up. So have some, fucking empathy.
Yeah, right on. So we did it. That was 10 minutes.
That was all right.
Talk about video games. It was organized and funny and interesting. That was, and I want to thank Gene Raman for directing me to a really good article at Screw Attack that where I just stole all the ideas from that article in Screw Attack. What I said about Marvel vs. Capcom 3. Thank you. Thanks, Gene Raman.
I actually have one about Mega Man going up on Games Radar.
Oh yeah,
cool. Tomorrow, so keep an eye out for that one. It's called something.
What's it going to be about?
It's about how Mega Man's death isn't a tragedy for a variety of reasons.
Wow!
There you go.
It gets interesting response. Yeah. I wonder.
Let's get some questions. Huh?
Yeah, let's do that. Let's
do some questions done, and then we're finished. On this 10% incidental video game talk podcast. I think we went a bit too far this week. I
enjoyed it. I
apologize.
You got to take it to the limit at least once and just see what happens.
I think we crossed a line, and I think we have wasted the listeners' time.
I think it was all worth it for the what's a golden skull you talked about? There was a lot of stuff you said that is.
There was 5 golden Lou Raids.
Yeah, it was all.
I said something about a lust gurney.
The Lust Gurney. I think that's going to be the title of this week's episode, Lust Gurney.
I would like someone to, I don't know, Photoshop old, fancy, foofy, rich people paintings of men in pointy, weird-looking hats and collars and shit with me and Jim's faces.
Oh, yes.
And then animate them into a resplendent living room having that discussion. If that...
Yeah, just move the jaw up and down.
I mean, even if you don't do the animation, just like, if any of the artists listening... could do just this lovely image of me and Max as George and Fox doing decadent inbred things. That would be fantastic. But anyway, let's get on with these questions. Speaking of having us sort of artsied up, and in a video game sense, Sir Ninja Face says, what kind of character are you going to make in Saints Row the Third?
Michael Jackson. I just immediately make Michael Jackson as soon as I can. As creepy as possible. It's fun.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
I would think characters who look like me as closely as possible. And I figured everybody else does that, but apparently not.
I have never done that. No interest in looking at me anymore.
What I love about Saints Row, and I did this with the second one, I should probably put up a screenshot or something of my character in Saints Row because it looks exactly like me. I spent probably a good 2.5 hours making the character. Looking really good, And then I start the game, and it has me doing all these terrible, mean things, which is just fucking weird. And I'll have friends over, and I'll be like, hey guys, look at this. And they're like, that looks like you. And I'm like, no, watch this. And I'll push a button, and then I'll just drink a 40, and they're like, okay, that really looks like you now. It's fucking great.
In Saints Row 2, I made myself. Actually, I made myself the second time. The first time I played it at a review event, but this was a job for IGN rather than Destructoid. I went and played the multiplayer. And I got a little go on the campaign, and I made Vincent Price, but with the Joker makeup on, and a Cockney accent.
Why so serious?
Yeah, and it was pretty amazing. Then I made myself as a cross-dresser, which is my dream for myself. To eventually lose enough weight to look great in a miniskirt and military boots, which is never going to happen, but that's my dream. Serious. And then I eventually ended up just making myself as a more sort of Jimquisition-y type of guy. And I might do that on this one. I don't know what voice actors they're going to have, because they've been dancing around whether they're going to bring the Cockney voice back, which is what really made it for me. Because having this really ridiculous English accent saying things like, you want to be a banger? It's so out of context that it works. And yeah, I mean, I think it'll depend on what voices they've got. That'll probably influence me. It's like if I can't get a funny Cockney voice, then I will probably just go silly with it and have another like a transgender or a cross-dresser on it, because I enjoy those kinds of things.
They would have to. That would be such a downgrade if they didn't have that in the third game. They've got to still have that. I believe that they will. Yes. I'm sorry. You're going to say, Max?
I was just going to say I've been like meaning to make all of us in there and just send us the pictures and just make videos of us dancing about, committing crimes.
Oh, that would be fun. Yeah, I'd enjoy that. I wanted to thank Minoti, by the way, for doing that fan art of us. That was fun.
That was awesome.
Oh yeah, yeah. I don't know. It made me look horrible.
You didn't look like a person, but you looked very British. And I looked like a Muppet with one big arm and one little arm. And that's fine with me. I looked likable.
It was funny, though.
So,
and
I looked alright. I looked spot on.
You looked very cute. You and Tara looked just like the good-looking ones, and me and Jim looked like vaguely science fiction and troubling, but still fun to look at.
I basically look like the Baron from Dune.
Oh, yeah.
Tara, are you going to be playing Saints Row? If so, I know you already said you were going to make it look like yourself, didn't you?
I still haven't picked up the second one, which I plan on doing here probably in the next couple of weeks. Although I've started Fallout 3 now, so who knows? That may not happen, but...
Like how Tara and I just play the same fucking games. Like, what are you playing? Oh, Fallout 3. No, New Vegas. I'm playing New Vegas now. She's playing Fallout 3. Yeah. Sad.
Yeah.
I think it's great. Solidarity.
So.
Yeah.
Dr. Rainbow says, what kind of character do you want to be in the Destructoid comic book series he's making? For those who don't know, Dr. Rainbow in the community blogs on Destructoid.com is making a Destructoid-themed comic book. It's very well drawn. It's very nice. But fuck it, because I was already dead by like the 5th panel, so I don't give a shit.
I don't
give
really
a flying fucking shit. What Dr. Cockbow did in his comic book that smells of shit. I'm only joking, of course.
Sexy private eye.
There you go. Tara wants to be a sexy private eye.
Aw. There's something cute about
or
that.
Or a streetwise stripper.
Yeah, I want you to be someone.
Didn't we have this conversation on a previous one where like everything you want to do is like stripping and prostitution?
I don't think so.
I'm sure.
I think we talked about the
what?
Us, yeah. We talked about the hookers in Streets of Rage 2, right? And how you wanted to be one of them.
Oh yeah,
I think.
Yeah,
I think that was it.
Well, there are hookers in that game, though.
There great hookers.
They're good hookers.
Yeah, I like those. Yeah, those are very good hookers.
I really need to do like a feature or something on just like my favorite like just hookers and strippers in video games, because there's so many of them and I love them all. They're just great. Sorry, carry on.
What kind of character do you want to be in the comic book, Max?
Make me gay. Just make me gay, but like a really like respectable gay, like not like
the guy from Project Runway.
No.
Oh,
no.
I just started watching that. That man's
What about
beautiful.
like?
He's pretty amazing.
What about like Robin Williams' brother in Mrs. Doubtfire, who is just like, okay, we're gonna make you, we're gonna give you this wig.
Is that Harvey Firestone?
Hold on, Mom's on the phone. What is it?
Harvey Firestein? He's got a real raspy voice and a beard.
I guess so, yeah.
I can't believe we got these for dwarves. These are disgusting. Like that?
I'm starring in a movie with Danny DeVito and Willem.
God damn it.
It was bound to happen. So you want to be like Harvey Firestein? That would be good.
Sure, yeah, I don't know. Just kind of like a gay guy who's not like some fucking ridiculous... I don't know why I want to be gay. You could also make me just like how I want to be me, which is like a fucking... sort of like Duke Nukem, but less cool, Like, whatever that means.
So you either want to be a respectable gay guy or a less cool Duke Nukem.
I don't know. Go nuts. You're the artist. Make me however you want. If you hate me, make me awful. I'm terrible.
You're great. You say it like it is, Max.
Make me Kid Chameleon. I want to be fucking Kid Chameleon. I want to fucking time travel and put on different hats that make me turn into a tank.
That'd be great. I want to, what should I do? I don't know what I should do. I should be the baby from Dinosaurs, I guess. He's cute.
Okay.
Just have me in a little crib, yeah.
Noir asks, what comic book character that has not received, who has not been in a movie, would you like to see up on the silver screen?
A comic book character? Wow, that's totally not video game related.
Yeah, who
I'm
gives a
down.
fuck? Who cares?
Yeah, I'm fine with it. Comic book character, huh? Do you want to start, Max? You like comic
Yeah,
books?
sure. I'm really torn about the Deadpool adaptation that's in the works. I'm a huge Deadpool fan. But I'm kind of bummed because his character is sort of doing what Wolverine did in the early 90s. And while he once was sort of this, like, you were a comic nerd if you knew who he was kind of character, he's suddenly, like, the sort of default fan favorite. And he's appearing in fucking 6 issues at once or something, which is just sort of sucks. And I do love Ryan Reynolds, who's on board to play him. And I heard the script is being done by the guys who did Zombieland, but I'm kind of worried. If I could see anything, though, I'd love to see. In the 80s, there was sort of a weird spin-off of Jonah Hex, where Hex got taken into the future, and it was like Mad Max, but he was like a time-traveling cowboy, and there were like these crazy rich guys who lived in like pleasure domes, and they would just take time machines and go and abduct random soldiers from different eras in history, and then they'd reenact battles. And so there's this fucking cowboy who gets abducted because he's a really good gunslinger. It's Hex. And he like gets sucked into the future, and he's like, "What in tarnation's going on? Can she bake a cherry pie?" And then it's
with his deformed face and his just disgusting ways. Yeah.
Yeah, and he
is he psychic? I can't remember.
No, he's just weird. Maybe he is. I never read any of the other Jonah Hex comics because once you read a fucking comic about a time traveling cowboy who goes into the future, you don't really give a shit about like Wild Wild West stuff because that's dumb. But he like teams up with this like platoon from Vietnam, and they're like, "Yo, man, what the fuck is going on here?" And he's like, "Shut your belly, you Nancy boys!" And then they just steal giant like I don't know what to call them because they're just like one giant wheel with a seat in the middle, and then they ride around in those. It's so cool. So yeah, I'd like to see that as a movie.
That sounds good. Yeah, sequel to Jonah Hex, but in the future. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm in. Anyone else want to go?
I've talked about him before, but I really want to see a movie with Mysterio as a villain because, as I've said before, I've just got this great. He's such a great pathetic character. Like underneath all the illusions and everything, there's nothing. He's actually got nothing, and I think that could be like a really good sort of thing to portray in a Spider-Man film as this guy who like has to reach for guns and things once it's become clear he's not like some 16-foot tall giant, you know.
Sure.
Like it's kind of like an evil Wizard of Oz type of thing, and that's always fascinated me about Mysterio. I love these characters that have this air of the pathetic to them.
There was talk of Bruce Campbell playing Mysterio in a future Spider-Man movie before Sam Raimi stopped making them. That would have been good because Bruce Campbell is kind of like he has a confidence to him, but a patheticness to him at this point as well in his career. I
think he's always had that. Like he's got this kind of. He looks and sounds like he could be an action movie, but there's just an action movie hero, but there's just something slightly off about him.
Yeah, like a unintentional self-parody that's still in there, kind of like Leslie Nielsen.
I read his book that he wrote. That was it's How to Make Love the Bruce Campbell Way. It's actually his second book. The first one was kind of like a memoir, and the second one, it's like he started writing a memoir but ran out of material, so he just made up a bunch of shit. And he kind of says that, and he's like, "Yeah, so this is sort of a story that it didn't happen, but it could happen." And he gets cast in like an Albert Brooks movie that's like a really, or I don't know, it's Albert Brooks, like some like really respected director who's making a movie with Richard Gere, and they hire Bruce Campbell to play the doorman, like in like a 1-bit part scene, like he's like the wacky doorman in this fucking romantic comedy. And then he like basically hijacks the movie, and he's like, "We need a car chase, and hey, Richard Gere, do you know any karate? Because we could go take karate lessons. I know a guy." And so it's just him and Richard Gere going around like crashing Ford F-150s. It's a fucking weird book. It's not a good book.
So he wrote fan fiction about himself and Richard Gere, like
he pretty much did.
Wow.
There's
good for him.
He has to teach Richard Gere how to be like a womanizer. So they go and they meet this like expert womanizer who lives in like a Las Vegas penthouse.
Richard Gere how to do that.
I don't know.
He knows.
Because Richard Gere knows how to get laid without even trying because he's like a nice guy and he's not going after that. But then this other guy's like, if you keep your penthouse at a perfect 71 degrees, it's hot enough that a girl wants to take off her shirt, but not too hot that she's uncomfortable. That's a weird book.
That's where he did with his fame.
For a really good celebrity autobiography, I suggest Rick Mayles. He is the British comedian who was in The Young Ones and Botter and all that kind of thing. It's called, what was it? Rick Mayall, Bigger Than Hitler, Better Than Christ. And it is just like the most self-aggrandizing, arrogant, fictional, like mostly fictional account of Rick Mayall's life, where he presents like long-time comedy partners like Adrian Edmondson, who did The Young Ones and Bottom and everything with him, like as just these nasty, selfish pieces of work with like all these mental and personal problems, and just makes him look like this hero who saved television. And it's incredibly entertaining, just the sheer nerve on display. And obviously it's intended for a laugh, but because it's Rick Mayall, you do get this sense as well that he really does love himself. So yeah, that's actually a good book. But
that sounds good.
I think we've got time for one more question. Better make it about video games.
I didn't answer my video game question.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I mean my movie. That's okay. Comic book character. I wish they would put Damian Wayne in the movies and in Batman Arkham City as well. Damian Wayne is the greatest Batman character to come out of the past 20 years or so. He's excellent. You guys familiar with Damian Wayne?
I don't know.
I can do it. You know Damian Wayne? He's great because he people like Batman because he's like a badass and he's ruthless and he doesn't care. But that's really actually a pretty childish attitude in life. So they take that ruthless badassness and put it in a little kid, and the juxtaposition is really good. He's a real little bastard, but it's a great character. Yeah, he beheaded somebody. He beat the crap out of the Joker with a crowbar. He talks about how he's better than everyone else. He's a little dick. He's great.
I'll have to look into that. That actually sounds good. Tara, have you got
really
anything?
Good.
I was going to ask, has Gambit been in any of the X-Men movies?
You are adorable.
He's in X-Men Origins Wolverine. They had Taylor. Fucking what the fuck? He's some handsome guy. You'd probably like him.
Yeah, he's a good-looking guy.
Yeah.
He was in that movie that everyone hated.
He did an okay job in a really terrible movie, which I think a few of the people in it did. Go watch that movie, Tara.
The bad part. Oh, Tara might like it. My wife liked it a lot. The guys are good looking. They're running around, you know.
It's got fucking Will.i.am from the Black Eyed Peas. Like, who is like, we're making an X-Men movie. You know what the X-Men need? One of the Black Eyed Peas. I want to see them go to the Savage Land, and I want Sauron to be played by fucking Fergie. I want that. You guys know Sauron? He's a pterodactyl.
Oh, sure, he's the pterodactyl man.
Oh, I remember him from the cartoon, actually. I saw him in one of them.
And he's psychic. And
he's like a were-pterodactyl.
Right. He got turned into a pterodactyl by assholes. He was like a really nice guy. He was just like, oh shit, I'm exploring Antarctica. And then they're like, you become the pterodactyl who's a jerk. I love comics.
He's not so bad, though. Yeah, me too. They're good. One last question, Jim Sterling?
Just a quick one, I guess. Invisible Popcorn Monk says, I guess, are there any video game characters of the same gender that you would date? I'm just going to say, which one would you go gay for?
Oh, okay.
Solid Snake.
Solid Snake?
Fucking Solid Snake.
I've heard that a lot.
Yeah. And he'd be like,
pretty cool guy.
He'd talk about his feelings, you know? He'd go to like his like cabin in Alaska, and he'd be like, oh, I'm really depressed. And if you had a crick in your neck, you know he'd fucking get that out for you. Zing!
Well, there's so many different ways to be gay, right? I mean, which one would I want to give me a full body massage versus...
Well, I mean, this guy said date, so I guess on a more relationship-y level.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, like for their personality then? That's pretty tough.
My answer isn't going to be about the personality. I just want to suck Zach Fair's cock.
He is handsome.
Yeah.
In a different way than Solid Snake.
Nothing gets it.
Tara, do you have one? I'm still thinking.
Probably Laura Croft. She's the hottest.
You don't. That's not fair. You're a girl. There are a lot of. Fuck. I wish I got to be a girl. To be fucking lesbians.
Yeah, I know.
Oh, they
Lesbians.
got it so easy.
This is hard. I'm
What the
not
hell
very
was that
horny, guys.
Beastman impression?
Oh, Crime Wave's on. Have you guys seen this movie?
No.
You guys just watch Crime Wave later. Okay.
Hey guys, I gotta go real quick. Somebody's here to get something from me.
Okay.
I'm
Where-
selling
where-
something to somebody. Sorry. Bye, Podtoid!
Bye.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't
It
want to
was
have
drugs.
sex with anyone. I'm asexual now.
Beastman, you must choose!
I'm just not
Whose
horny.
cock would you suck? Or I'll make you suck my
Okay.
havoc star!
Jim, have you heard the Skeletor versus Beastman song?
Of course I have.
Okay, just checking.
Yeah, who wouldn't?
I don't know. I would be so worried but excited if you hadn't heard it, because then I could recommend it to you. Beastman.
I'll drink your ass like wine! It is a very good song. But you must choose, Jonathan Holmes.
I really have to, huh?
Suck a video game character's cock! Do it! Do it to show us!
Just Mario to say I did.
Oh, suck it!
Fucking hell.
Suck it!
That's good bragging rights there. And he's he's not even like a person really, so you're just kind of like having sex with a bunch of weird shapes. You can write it off to just like some weird art
Oh,
experiment.
it'd be like fucking an autistic guy. Like, you just... It's horrible. He's not... He's a fucking Italian plumber. He's like a little fat, hairy guy. He just doesn't say
Yeah.
much.
Woo! I'll stick my mushroom in your whopper pipe!
That's like rape, Holmes. You're fucked up.
No, he'd be totally into it.
I'm gonna give you a fuck sex now! Woo-hoo! Oh.
Did you guys see that time I saw the guy that does the voice for Mario and how sad he got?
Yeah. Didn't you like
Oh,
shout?
he was so...
Didn't you shout holy shit in his face?
I did, and he got really sad, and he was like, "Wait!" Like he didn't want to be in the video at all. And then after I said "Holy shit," which was genuine, I didn't like rehearse it or anything. He really got sad and was like, "You have to re-record that and say holy cow."
It's his fucking
Which-
problem.
He's worried Nintendo's gonna get mad at him for being in a video and swearing.
To drop dead.
Yeah, Nintendo really liked that video actually. At least that's what they told me. They're like, "Oh, we've been watching around the office." Yeah. So thanks, Nintendo.
We watched it around the office while we were busy not localizing that story, guys.
I still think they're going to localize that after it does well in Europe.
Yeah,
That's
after you
what's gonna
suck my dick.
Eh.
Suck Mario's dick and I'll put that story out on the Nintendo Wii Home console, guys.
Man, I'm just gonna. Oh, so sad. Every time I say "we," I feel terrible. Did you guys know that? When you have to say it out loud and be like, "Yeah, I played this cool game on the Wii." It's no
On
way
the
to
Wii.
yeah, there's no way to talk about it without sounding terrible. Yeah.
Hey guys,
sorry,
would you like Pandora's Tower? You can't have it. I played it. It's pretty good.
Is that impersonating me now?
We localized a bunch of. No, I'm being Nintendo. We localized a bunch of them just for ourselves.
No, I don't see them sounding like that. I feel like they just be like this. Oh, you folks over there, you don't want the Pandora's Tower. That's, we have it. Who wouldn't want to play a game like that? I'll give
They're
you a
everywhere.
touch screen, and if your mom comes in the room and she wants to watch the TV shows, you can play your Nintendos anyway.
Nicely done.
Yeah, that was well done. Yeah, they're old. They're nice though. Old and nice. Just like me, kind of.
Oh,
I think I'm
wait,
nice.
don't look at you can put the controller on the ground. It's a sand trap for golf. For playing golf.
There's people that are not young that are really excited about that. I've talked to several people 50 years old and they're like, will buy the day it comes out. Can't wait to have fake golf on my floor
Fuck those
and my
assholes.
teeth. Yeah, they got the money, CO.
Whatever.
They're rich.
That's my satirical impression.
Well
That was
done,
good.
sir.
Ah, thank you.
Wow. This has
I'm
been quite a-
proud of it myself. Yeah, this has been a fucking disaster.
It's been quite a show.
It's
I'm really going to be thinking about it later on.
As I say,
Tonight.
I think we went too far several times.
You guys really encourage each other.
I think
Deeply.
we are a bad
It's fucked up. God, Destructoid live at PAX is gonna be a fucking nightmare. It's gonna be awesome.
It's gonna be great. When I did it last year, I was
I
feeling
feel
shocked.
sorry for everyone else who's going to be on
No,
panel.
they're gonna be happy.
We're just going to be shouting at each other in funny
It's
voices.
gonna be fucking great. We're just gonna get all majestic, and they're not gonna know what to do because they don't know anything about being dandies.
Yeah. At the very least, we need some capes. In fact, I'm gonna on the panel, I'm gonna cut off at least 5 minutes for what will be called cape time.
Oh, thank God. Okay, I'll bring my cape.
Yeah, we'll wear capes and be the most elegant man at PAX.
If anyone at home is still listening, I'd like to point out that this entire time, I have just been sculpting things with Sculpey clay. Just making some crafts.
You're still doing that?
Oh, yeah. I'm making a squid bear right now. It's coming out really, really well.
Oh, your life is good.
I'm so happy about
I wanna
crafts.
point that out. Yeah, I wish I could do more crafts. I'm busy talking to people about their feelings and don't kill yourself.
Having a job and shit.
Yeah, I know, man.
I'm so busy I don't have time to work. It's got to that point where it's I need to do this work and then I have to do this work instead, and then I'm I don't have time for this work.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous.
Well,
Holmes, I gotta say, I wish... Have you ever done any, psychiatric work? With kids and
no.
stuff?
No, I mean, I have a 20-year-old right now. It feels pretty
You should work with
pediatric.
kids, dude. If I had you as a fucking social worker when I was a kid and all fucked up, I would have been so fucking depressed all the time, you know?
Oh, thanks, Max.
You're the sweetest man in the world. If we did crafts together, that'd be great. If you're just sitting there being hey, look, I made a Charmander. Isn't that neat? And I'd be like, I made a small gun model.
I did print out a bunch of how to draw Pokemon for remember that lady who loved Final Fantasy VIII?
Mm-hmm.
The day she left, I printed her out all the different types of electric mice.
I wanted to talk about that, actually, because a lot of people thought that we were hating on Final Fantasy VIII during that bit, where we were
I didn't think we were we?
She's mental, I don't know what we said, something like Fingerer for liking Final Fantasy VIII or something. But I do want to point out, I actually really like it, and I think it gets a lot of unfair stick. It was a joke. But a few people were do you hate Final Fantasy VIII? And I'm no, I actually kind of like it a lot.
And I don't think... Is it still an insult to say people are mental? Because most of the people I like in...
I think the idea was... I can't remember what it was we were doing, but I think we were saying the proof of her being mental was that she liked Final Fantasy VIII, and that you should start abusing her for, tolerating the draw system and all this stuff.
Yeah.
And then I said she was stupid for liking it because they couldn't have all grown up in that same orphanage. Which, that bit is true. But everything else, Final Fantasy VIII just had the problem of following Final Fantasy VII, and as such I feel it's my duty to defend it on the grounds that it is not bad just because it's not the first one that a lot of people are exposed to. Anyway, how dare I...
I love making fun of Final Fantasy. It's so easy. You just make fun of it, and then there it is. They've got girly hair. My good friend Scott Bromley, he made one of his most successful videos when he was still at IGN was "Fuck Final Fantasy" or something to that effect. It was just why Final Fantasy sucks, and it's him in a field just making fun of Final Fantasy.
I just broke 10,000 followers. That's nice.
Ah, fucker.
Oh, good. You're famous. You famous now, dog.
That's interesting.
I'm not even to 2,000.
How did I get that many?
Well, yeah, you do a lot of stuff. You put yourself out on the internet.
No, but I mean, it was 9,970 a minute ago.
I've been getting a lot more followers out of nowhere. I don't know why or how they found us.
Everybody follow us. Max Scoville, Tron Knotts, and Jim Sterling.
Tron Knotts.
You don't need to follow me anymore. I am now celebrity. On the internet, famous celebrity icon, Jim Sterling, star of stage and screen.
That's you. So I guess we're almost at 3 hours.
Done.
We're done.
Yeah, we better stop.
Yeah, we've gone on for... Jesus.
Goodbye, guys.
Yeah, goodbye. Have I got to say anything? See Tara and Max Monday, Wednesday, Friday, Destructoid show. Me and Jonathan Holmes were always hanging around on Destructoid.com and around the internet. You can see us all over the place. Me and my 10,000 Twitter followers are here for entertainment purposes for yourself. Goodbye, everyone!
Bye.
Wait.
Jesus Christ.